Within the ancient order of the Harbingers, every member knows two prophecies, two eventualities, one of peace and one of doom. Only one of these foretellings may prove true, but not even the gods know which. And so the Harbingers fight, seeking always to stand against the darkness and be heralds of the times of peace. Yet always the shadow lurks. Doom is waiting, biding its time, assured of its own inevitability, prowling like a great cat ready to strike, hanging from above like a blade on a thread. Doom, they tell themselves. Doom is coming, and only they may stop it. But to fight an enemy, you must know them. And so they recite the prophecy of doom.
I shall not see a world that will be dear to me. Summer without flowers, cows without milk, folk without conscience, warriors not brave.
Conquests without a king.
Woods without fruit, fishless seas. Multitudes of storms.
Bad judgments by old men, false precedents of the lawgivers. Forts barren of structures, hollow.
A stronghold coming from mistakes, a devastated time. An excess of lords, but too many homeless.
Joy in evil, covered in sorrow. Everyone a betrayer, each child a robber. Oh, evil time. Son will deceive father, daughter will deceive mother.
Ahoy and welcome everybody. Welcome to Harbingers. This is a Horizons Call spin-off about the darker side of Damaris, as we have the goth hot topic kids, the Harbingers, setting out to solve all the world's problems and prevent it from ending time after time after time. I am Derek Sorties, he, him pronouns. I am your GM for this game, your game master. I'm also your GC, your guiding compass, as we navigate the treacherous seas of Damaris and beyond. And definitely in the beyond portion at this point, as we're dealing with potentially some vampirates, werewolves, hags, oh my. All that and more awaits, and we do have a recap this week. But before all of that, I want to have these lovely people say more about themselves. And before even that, I do want to say that this is a Sword and Key stream. You can find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. Find all of our links in one neat, nice place. We can have our socials there. So you can see our Instagram, our BlueSky. You can see our Discord if you want to hang out with a great community like ours. Chat about cool games like this with cool people like us. If you are looking for discount codes, we got those. We got, well, first of all, we have an affiliate link if you're purchasing anything from Hit Point Press, and you should. If you like Humblewood or Islands of Sina Una, animated spell cards, gosh, just there's so much stuff there. Use our affiliate link if you're going to be shopping from them. If you are getting a perfect set of dice, can't recommend Long Dog Dice enough. Jen with Long Dog Dice doesn't really make dice anymore. There's now dice fidgets, which are dice, but also a little bit more than that. And you can get a D20, which is perfectly rollable and also has a wonderful little squish. You can get custom clothing now with your D&D stats and character on it. Also glassware with the same stats and D&D character, or a different character if you like. All of that and more, and use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. That code, Sword and Key, for 10% off your first purchase, also works at Eldritch Foundry for custom minis. Check them out, no matter how weird, wild, normal, and wild your TTRPG character might be. Use our affiliate link if you're going to do 3D, doing any 3D printing. That gets you a 3-month subscription for only $19.99. If you are getting your perfect cup of tea, Friday afternoon tea is the place to go. Gayest tea shop in the Pacific Northwest. I'm going to borrow LD's code for this one. Use code The Lady Dame for 10% off your order there. I personally recommend the official Sword and Tea. LD has one of the lovely mugs there. That is also the color that I got. Actually, we got both because they are great. And you get Matcha the Dragon, little mascot, there on the front as well. So check that out. I also recommend the Smut Tea, which LD helped create. So Let's see. That's the discount code stuff. This game is also plays in support of the Trans Latina Coalition, the second A in Latina being the @ You can donate at any time to impact this game, as this was a continuation of our Pride Month campaign. So you can add some incentives, some crits, some advantages, maybe some complications, although don't worry, they are complicating things plenty themselves. But you can check out all of that and donate towards a great cause. So see that link on our socials, in chat, and again also on beacons.ai/sword and key. I'm going to save all the other stuff for the end. Let's go ahead and go around. Abhishek, if you don't mind starting us out, tell us more about your lovely self.
Yeah, hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Patange. I am a voice actor, TTRPG AP performer, and today I'll be playing the lovely, ever so just a little bit wound up Anubia, our lovely badass Anubite monk, and if you couldn't tell by the overlay, Moon Druid. So yeah.
Yeah, a little addition. Something that I didn't say on screen, but was asked for. We were gonna do it anyway, but I appreciate the request all the same. We did a little leveling up last time, so they did level up 1 level, and maybe did a little moving around too, because I am the kind of GM where, hey, if it's more fun to move levels around for your character, I'm not gonna say no. That's not fun. Fantastic. Thank you, Abhishek. Next is Alex.
So I had to track down my unmute button. Anyway, hello everybody. My name is Alex. I will be playing Desiree, who has 12 whole levels in the fighter class. And oh boy, I have a feeling I'm going to be using all 12 of them real soon.
For persuasion checks, of course.
Yes.
Yes. The things that fighters are known for. Thank you, Alex. Next is LD.
I got really excited because I realized I'm only need to mute in one place so I can do caption nonsense. And I'm very excited about it this time around because I'm not running tech. Hi, everybody. I'm Lady Dave, or LD, and I am playing Fiach, who has 12 whole levels in Warlock of... It's technically undead Warlock, but she's just the Warlock of the Morgan, and she has done nothing wrong ever in her life and has never made a bad decision and regrets none of her life choices in this moment. It's fine.
Really appreciate the character bleed is not even Fia saying that, but it's you saying it for her. It's
correct.
It's a lovely quality. Fantastic. Next up is Rak.
Hello everyone, I am Rakolai, or Rakolai, or Rakolai. No real preference on how you pronounce it. I'm just glad you are here. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I will be reprising my role as everybody's favorite Kenku, Croak, Ranger, Rogue, Swarmkeeper, and Phantom. Here to have a good time, maybe stick a few fuels.
Love that. Rek, I do actually want to say, like, Croak is my favorite Kenku, and you specifically have shown me, and I mean this fully as a compliment, but you've shown me that I could never play a Kenku because I could never do it as well as you do, and I mean that with the highest level of respect. You take a class that a lot of people really fumble, or a character type that a lot of people really fumble, and just absolutely masterclass with it. And then last but absolutely not least, we have Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. I am currently in Scotland, hence the change of scenery. But I am still playing Saskia, your paladin, air genasi babysitter who is doing an awful job right now.
So I need Saskia to have a Scottish accent the entire stream. Just this stream. Just to be aware. Fantastic. Thank you to this wonderful cast. Thank you to you for joining in. We're going to do a little recap. So, Rek, I believe you have this week. Whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
All right, get my notes. Previously on Harbingers, thanks to a bit of prodding from Saskia, we learned a bit about Renwick's backstory, how he was orphaned and joined the Golden Flame at a young age. Saskia elected to not let him in on the information that we gleaned from Fiach's scrying. We do, however, make use of the position of the moon that she had seen in order to narrow down the location of a grotto filled with ships hidden beneath Castle Hollavow to somewhere on the eastern coast of the island. A potential point of entry, or perhaps even an emergency exit if needed. Reconvening with the rest of the Harbingers, we decide that the best course of action will be to bring Renwick along with us in order to best keep an eye on him, and try to find one of Moira's belongings in order to scry on her. During our meeting, Anubia's mind is otherwise occupied, but she promises to share once she has gathered her thoughts. Following a relatively uneventful night's watch, save for Desiree hearing a feminine voice calling her a heretic, non-believer, saying things like, "I didn't want you." Saskia investigates the tavern in order to find the hallowed space she had sensed the night before. While she's unable to locate its exact location, she does discover that the tavern's owner, Lysander, may be a potential ally when she notices that the symbol of the Morning Lord is tattooed on the back of his neck and leaves him with the image of the Triskelion. We then head out to the docks to search for clues surrounding the disappearance of Captain Nuxak and his crew, but their ship, the Invincible 2, is already gone. The Harbor Master Clive claims that the kobolds had already gone out to sea, and while we are unable to get any more information out of him, Fiach is able to persuade him to part with his handkerchief and secure it for future scrying purposes. At the same time, another vessel, the Topaz, docks at the harbor, and a huge, heavily secured crate being towed by a pair of ankylosaurs, ridden by Tabaxi, is unloaded. Hearing the sounds of something large and alive inside, I tail the cargo to a warehouse located within town. Later that night, we meet with Nico, the man we had encountered the previous night at the tax collection, and are escorted through the jungle along a safe path to the gates of Castle Hollowvow. Once we arrive, we are brought to meet Cadigan and Lady Spite, where we are split into two groups. Anubia volunteers to accompany Desiree to go with Cadigan and Lady Spite to meet with the Lord of the Castle, while the rest of us are left behind with Nico to take a tour. It's around this time that Saskia realizes that Renwick has gone missing ever since entering the palace walls. After passing through a number of chambers, including a library containing an individual who bears a striking resemblance to the man depicted in a number of paintings, and also a plank from the Night Queen, Desiree and Anubia find themselves face to face with Lord Adolas himself, who proceeds to conduct what can only be described as a very tense job interview. Desiree uses her previous experience with death and resurrection to explain her desire to become a vampire, and this seems to satisfy Lord Adolas, who tasks us with tracking down and eliminating a hag who lives deep within the jungle and is allegedly the source of the feral vampires that stalk the underbrush. Successful completion of this task will guarantee Desiree the gift of vampirism, as well as a place within Lord Adolas's ranks, and the opportunity to potentially take over as first mate. He even waives our taxes for the night and sends the two to talk to Nico, as he will have the information that we will need to locate her. Unfortunately, Fiach, Saskia, and myself are not privy to this knowledge, and once we have brought Nico to the abandoned dining hall, the three of us launch a surprise attack in order to discreetly take out one of Lord Adolas's men. And while we are able to get the jump on him, Nico proves to be a much more formidable foe than anticipated, as he reveals to be a powerful werewolf, a Rougarou, to be precise. And Fiach and I are barely able to avoid contracting the curse of lycanthropy from his bite before he breaks free and hurls himself out of the window into the waters below. And that is where we currently find ourselves.
Wonderful job, Rack. Very, very thorough. Please enjoy that point of inspiration. Yeah, I think the only correction I might make is that the grotto that you saw, I believe, is supposed to be on the western side of the island. Otherwise, excellent detail to the notes. All right, let's get into things. Let's pick up again with our would-be werewolf hunters. You all stand, having just dropped your magical silence, in a dining room. The dining room, again, is longer than it is wide. It has, long tables, chairs that are all set up along the sides. Everything is kind of covered in dust and cobwebs here. It seems that nobody really uses this space much. The far wall, from where you stand, has a line of large, ornate stained glass windows. One of those windows, the one closest to you, is smashed through with a big, cartoonishly werewolf shape going through it. That's not true. It's actually completely decimated, as it was rent apart by a werewolf. I believe a mending was done on the chair that was also smashed. However, there still remains some evidence of your little skirmish here. You have looked over the side of, outside this window, over the side of the cliff that it looks down on, and do not see your foe, as he seems to have plummeted down hundreds of feet. What would you all like to do?
Out of curiosity, I'm so sorry. Out of
Please.
curiosity, based on how we kind of figured that cave entrance that we had sort of scouted out and triangulated and whatever, do we think we're on, like, how are we on the window that Nico has jumped out of? Are we on the same side as where we think that cave is, or no? Like, can we?
You're closer to it. You're looking out onto the bay from where you were guessing that the grotto was not in the bay itself, because the bay is contained. You would have to exit the bay and kind of go around the side of the island, indicating there might be caverns and grottos that are all outside of the immediate bay of the city.
Okay. I propose that I don't trust for a second that fucking tough ass bastard hasn't, like, I assume he's fine. We may have made a mistake there, but I imagine we don't have much time. So if we want to make our way to that basement that we saw, I think now's the time. We better hot-foot it out of here and go try and, try and find Moira and for what we came to do. Or at least some affect of hers. Thoughts, feelings? You're muted, Saskia.
I mean, I don't know if we could go back right now, because it's only a conversation. I could go out the window.
We could go out the window and follow our friend down. That's not a terrible idea. We're not very far from where I think that cave is, so we could maybe try and see where that cave goes.
Croak will pluck one of the feathers out of his pseudo wing and hold it up, gesture to Saskia, and then out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can do that.
And I don't hate that idea. Because if we're going to do it, we should go now then.
I feel like we'd be abandoning Moira is the problem.
Well, that's true. And we are here for that one reason. But, I mean, if we try and... so in the layout of the house, because I would have seen where the entrance to this basement area is, and where we are in relation to where that is, or like have a vague idea.
Yeah, so there were two different paths because you did two different scries.
Yeah.
So the first scry that you did, where Mr. Ham was being dragged into the depths,
which is I think where we're trying to go.
Okay, if that's where you're trying to go,
I think
you would want to go back. So I will explain both.
Correct.
So you have options.
Yeah.
You would have to go into the main hall. Where you were first received, and essentially go straight. You know that there are a series of doors back there. Some of them will, as they get progressively darker and darker, and the ghouls were kind of just, really scrambling through as things get less decadent. They found a almost seemingly like endless spiral staircase, all enclosed with stone all around, that they just spiraled down, and it took minutes and minutes and minutes for them to finally get to the black abyss of the bottom. And it's when they stopped there and you could hear the panting that you heard that voice that was threatening Mr. Ham. You couldn't really see much at that point, but
it was really
know
dark.
that you do know that you traveled downwards. The other pathway was the one that Lady Spite and Cadigan took. And that was one that is closer to where you are now, where you all turned to go into the dining room. They continued straight down the hallway and utilized another series of halls and doors. So, I mean, if you were trying to remember exactly, considering you were, using a scrying eye, you saw it once, and it wasn't super complicated. It wasn't labyrinth, but you could definitely try to remember if you did want to try to go where they were. That would lead you to the grotto.
The grotto.
Yeah, that is so. Lady Spite and Cadigan
Right.
they went
about
down to where you saw all of the ships, and that's where you saw the moon coming through the cave entrance.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, in that case, I think going to I think going to the basement or trying to locate the basement where we think where they had led Mr. Ham would require us to go back to the main entrance, which feels like a terrible idea, frankly, because that who knows who we might run into and it will look suspicious. If we keep going forward, I think we can either feather fall down or fly down and try and get to the grotto from where we think that cave entrance is from the outside, or we can go navigate through the house because we're on the same side to get to the grotto from inside the house are our three options. I kind of like the falling down and going out from outside.
Seems the least risky. Because...
Well, yeah. Because if we go down that way, we're following Nico rather than accidentally running into him. More like.
Yeah.
I'd rather follow than accidentally meet him head on again, to be honest.
Yeah, and we're less likely to run into Lady Spite and Cadigan.
And they won't expect us to have jumped out the window after him.
I don't know. I just don't want to get into a fight with everybody up here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Out the window it is then?
Yeah.
All right, out the window it is.
Desiree and Anubia will just have to figure it out.
Okay.
They're very smart and they have much cooler heads, I feel. Well, at least cooler heads than I do. I'm sure they'll figure it out just fine.
Okay.
I have every confidence in them.
How are you all proceeding out the window?
I'm gonna fly out the window.
Okay. There's one.
Yeah.
I think I'll climb up onto Saskia's back.
Yeah. Could I, real quick, could I cast See Invisibility on myself? Real quick.
Sure.
Do I see anything in the room that would be of suspicion or anything?
With See Invisibility, no.
Okay.
Nothing in the room here that would give you pause. Nothing that wasn't there before, I should say.
Okay. Just to make sure. And then I am going to hop out the window with give Croak a little hike up, that little hop thing when you're trying to get something up a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will try and hop out the window and cast Feather Fall on... Wait, actually. Can I cast... I'll actually cast Levitate on myself, so I have more of a controlled descent, but I can only move vertically.
Okay.
Nope, I lied. One creature or loose object of your choice that you can see within range rises vertically. Nope, can I do this down? Yes, I can move up or down as part of my move, and I can move myself away by having to push myself. So I think I will cast Levitate on myself instead of Featherfall. And if for any reason I end up falling, I will then use my reaction to cast Featherfall.
Okay. Are you carrying Croak then?
Yes. He is still on my back.
Okay.
I will actually, and to specify, I will make sure that Saskia and Croak are out the window first before I fly down, so that way if anything goes wrong, I can, catch and sort of help, steady a fall or whatever.
Yes.
Sure.
the spell can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds, so I think myself carrying Croak is definitely under that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so it sounds like we're all traversing somewhat calmly down to the water. You all begin your descent via taking your, swooping harpy motion, and after, of course, the other two begin to levitate down. Let's pause on you all real quick, because essentially that all happened right around the same time that Anubia and Desiree had a very calm, very polite end to their conversation. So I want to jump over to the two of them real quick as you both stand up with Cadigan, Lady Spite, and Lord Adderlass all standing with you there. And they have all stood to essentially give you the opportunity to leave with respect. Is there anything you all would like to do before you walk out of this room? Okay. So, Lord Adderlass nods to you both. Again, I hope this deal can be quite advantageous to everyone involved.
That is my hope as well.
Yes. Is your plan to return to the village tonight? To return to where are you lodging? I should ask.
We are. Alex, forget the name of the inn.
It's the Owl Light Inn. If you want to give him a, yeah.
We are staying at the Owl Light Inn currently. We will regroup with our companions and discuss our next moves there.
Well, if I could offer, the Owl Light is, of course, some of the accommodations that we have in town, but it certainly is not, as someone who is a guest, someone who has shown so much respect and verisimilitude of my station, of my court, the least I can do is offer you superior lodging for the night. Please, be my guest here at the castle. I have adequate rooms. You may all share a single one, if that is of concern to you. Or I have enough to provide individual rooms to all of you. Much better beds that haven't been slept in by drunks and sweaty people. If you would be so kind to be my guest.
Anubia, what do you think?
Well, if it's all the same to you, I think I'd rather return to the Owl Light. Something about familiar territory. You know how us emotional support animals can be.
Yes, a bit skittish. I understand. If that is your wish, then you are welcome to travel back with the carriage as it goes into town for the taxes tonight. And again, you are forgiven for those taxes, of course.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Well, I will walk you out.
Thank you.
And the 5 of you go walking into the hall. You go through that greater hall that had the statuary, the stained glass, out of the library where you all had been meeting, and back to the main hall, which is still dimly lit by the chandelier and the candles all about. Okay. Lord Adderlass, stands there. Again, to describe him, now that he's standing up, you can see all of his clothes. He's wearing, like, what would be, like, finer captain's clothing. It has a level of, like, suave buccaneer to it, where there's a lot of black and red, of course. But, these bright, maybe, like, rose gold buttons that are include with the brocade of it all. And he has this longer, dark hair. He is clean shaven, I should note. Paler skin, and his hair is longer, kind of swept off to one side, swept off to his left side. And he stands as Cadigan and Lady Spite flank him. Well, I don't know where Nico got off to, so I suppose you're welcome to wait by the characters until they leave. And of course, you are always welcome back, even more so once you complete the task I've laid out for you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And he gestures for you to go to the door if you would like.
Yeah, I will go and wait outside.
I'll go ahead and follow.
Okay. Anubia, do you have keen senses or anything? I can't remember if Kenra have.
Let me double check that. Species traits. Where are you? Technically no, but I mean, yeah.
Well, why don't you, actually both of you, I mean, elves also have higher levels of senses as well. Why don't you both just give me a perception check? This will be with disadvantage. Well, no, we'll call it a straight check. There's nothing that would provide disadvantage to you. Just go ahead and do perception.
A 23.
Okay.
22 for me.
Okay. I think both of you, well, Anubia maybe slightly more. There's the sting, that copper smell of blood in the air. And you're around vampires. Maybe it's to be expected, but there's something that just smells a little fresher about it. But that's really what you pick up on. It's up to you if that is something that, ruffles your hackles or not.
Probably a little bit, but...
Yeah, definitely. She definitely turned to Desiree and be like, am I the only one who noticed that?
I don't think so. Something happened.
Clearly.
I
The only question is...
It was the plan. But...
The question is, do we investigate? Or do we trust that our comrades made it out? Without incident?
I'm inclined to think they made it out. Or at least they haven't been detained yet. I imagine news would be brought if they were captured or killed. So perhaps the plan is still a go.
All right. Well then, I'll follow your lead.
Shit. What's the status on Lady Spite and Cadigan?
They're both standing attentively. They are waiting for you to go out the door first.
Gotcha. Yeah, then we would definitely have left.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea was to have that conversation out of earshot for sure.
Great. Okay. Then just as that conversation ends is when they follow you out, and you can see that the carriage is prepared along with the horses, the armored guards as well, still standing attentively around it, waiting patiently for... there's no driver in the seat, so waiting patiently for the taxation to begin. Did you all want to head back into town, or did you want to wait for your companions? What's the thought process for the two of you right now?
Honestly, for me, the goal is to try and wait for the taxation crowd to leave and then start snooping.
Okay.
I have a couple of... I can do some echo stuff if I need to pull the wool over anyone's eyes, if they're like, oh no, you need to go. But otherwise, I will act like I'm just patiently waiting for my friends.
Yeah, Cadigan and Lady Spite both walk past you, and he turns back. You're lingering a little bit.
I'm waiting for my companions to show. I suppose the tour must have gone quite deep into the manor.
Must have. Well, they're with Nico, so I'm sure they're fine. He knows to keep himself in check when he needs to.
I'd hope.
I wonder if the same could be said for your friends, but not here to judge. Well, we're going to head into town then. It seems as if we'll have to do this without our little guide, but we'll be fine all the same. Are you sure you want to wait?
I would rather make the travel with my friends, if it's all the same to you. If it's an imposition, of course, I would be honored to take a ride.
To be quite honest, I hope you take up our lord on his offer to stay the night at the keep. It's the safest place on the island, of course, but if staying here gets you closer to that, then I have no issue with it. So, yes, if you need anything, the lord will be about. Of course, so will our resident scientist, although I think he's busy at these hours. And we should be back before too long, of course. So if you need anything, you may return to the hall. Just respect your locked door. That's all I ask.
Of course. Thank you very much.
And he opens the carriage door and holds out a hand for Lady Spite, who turns back to all of you as she's like bending through the doorway. And she puts out a finger and she goes, "Don't be naughty. I will know." And they both get into the carriage, and the driver comes up, cracks the reins, horses take off along with the armored guards as well. And you are left standing in a quiet courtyard as they pass over the causeway and into the jungle. It's quiet.
Well, we seem to have been left alone and with an open invitation to re-enter the building should we want to. How do you
Quite
fancy a
fortuitous.
self-guided tour?
You know, I don't think I would mind that. Shall we?
Let's go.
Where would the two of you like to go?
I would like to, with Anubia's assistance, try and track down that fresh blood smell. That seems like the lead we have.
Yeah.
Great. With that in mind, you would know that once you re-enter the hall, the massive doors opening and closing behind you, and you standing in the dim light of this first hall, you would know to turn right. That's where the coppery smell seems to be coming from the strongest. And should you follow that,
yes,
you would find your way eventually to a dining room. The doors left open, blood on the floor. You can see that there's, judging by the splatter marks, there seems to be some sort of fight that happened here. And then one of the large stained glass windows is completely smashed out. You can also see some black feathers left on the ground as well.
I guess picking up the black feathers, would I be able to recognize the black feathers? I'm assuming they came from Croak, probably, above table.
I mean, big enough that they probably didn't come from like a regular corvid. Might have come from Croak, might have come from Fiach. They are similar enough in coloration.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they got into a fight with Nico. No bodies, so no one is dead. And at least some of them could have gone out a window.
Seeing as there's no one here, I'm assuming all of them maybe went out the window.
You're probably Shit. Thoughts?
Well, we could follow them, or if you could, or you could stay here and investigate, then follow them.
We will have to play this very carefully if we stay here.
Right.
They're already in combat or some kind of conflict with a member of the house. That could easily fall onto us.
It could.
So, the story is we were invited to stay here. We chose to wait for our friends before we left. They didn't show. We were invited back into the house. We looked around, and this is what we saw.
Simple enough.
We don't know what happened. And if necessary in the moment, we disavow their actions.
Fair.
Do you think we should follow or investigate up here?
Actually, I have a newbie roll for this, actually. Let's see. So, I'll say evens, we can go follow. Odds, we'll investigate. 2.
We follow.
Okay.
So we do.
Should we... This might be a terrible idea, and feel free to let me know if it is. Should we let the Lord of the Manor know?
He's bound to find out sooner rather than later.
And letting him know ingratiates us, or at least puts a distance when maybe that might be necessary to keep ourselves alive.
It's possible. Well, considering you're already in talks with him, how about you... I'd say you'd be the one to present that information, might be a bit better. It does help out your big plan after all.
Yes, I think you should be close by, though. Maybe waiting outside the room to the door to the study.
Fine. Could give me a chance to look around passively, see if anything catches my eye.
And it would be good to show that we are still together and you haven't been dispatched to hide in some far-off corner or steal something.
Right.
What a mess.
Best laid plans and all that.
Let's go revisit the captain.
This should be interesting.
We'll cut back to the other half of the party here real quick as you two go walking back towards the study and the library to speak again with Captain Adderlast, Lord Adderlast. Okay, the rest of you have descended calmly and quietly, I should note. I mean, flying at night, everything else. You descend down to the water. It takes you a little, I mean, this is hundreds of feet, so even with levitate, like, it's taking you just a couple of minutes to get down. It is about the time that you were going to reach the surface of the water. I should ask, are you all, like, going underwater? Are you going to fly over to the beach? What would you like? There's all these spires that are in the bay as well, that you could, like, you know, climb onto the rocks there. Where would you all like to land?
I was thinking that we would start to head in the direction of where we know that grotto is.
Okay.
With the levitate, I could probably with levitate, is that one of those things like I could kind of like help shove Saskia in the correct direction?
Yes. I can.
We can also
move. I can't move horizontally magically, but if I was pulled or if I pushed off from something, I could move that way.
Or if I just like poked you and like guided you.
Yeah, that would work.
Okay. So again, the grotto is outside of the bay. You have all descended into the bay. So there's really two ways that you could do this. You could you could get on your ship, sail around, and see if you could find the entrance, or there might be an underwater entrance here, or there might be an entrance. There is an entrance within the castle, descending to the bay, whereas that's where Nico went to. You have not seen Nico come out of the water,
right?
So there's that.
Sorry, I sort of had a different picture in mind, so that's fair. Cool.
I feel like we should land somewhere near the waters, near the edge of the bay, like land-wise.
Yeah.
So we can reassess the situation.
Sure,
Yeah.
I like that.
So closer to the city, or closer to where your ship first made entrance into the bay itself.
Ooh. Can we see our ship from here? Our ship is docked at the dock, right? Or no, they went back. They stayed out, didn't they?
They're out in the bay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd be able to see your ship for sure.
Well, probably, I don't know, thoughts about closer to the city versus closer to the bay? Or
I feel like closer to the bay, because we would know that taxes are being collected soon.
Right, that's fair.
You know, we might want some time first to figure out what's going on before we run into those folks.
Yeah, I think closer to the bay. I would love to keep an eye out. I know we haven't seen Nico surface at all, but if there's any sort of evidence, if we see, like, I would love to be on the lookout for some evidence if we, that he came up on a beach somewhere or something without us noticing.
Yeah. We can use your passive unless you'd like to roll potentially for higher.
Excellent question. Do I want to roll for this? I'm scared to roll. We can use my passive. That's fine.
Yeah, you keep an eye out. You have not seen any real disturbances to the water. Okay. Even from the height you were at, you maybe saw some ripples in the water from when he, took a plunge, but you've not seen anybody or anything come back out. And with all of you then flying out to the far extent of the bay, you again would see this almost natural and yet somewhat artificially formed gate that you all pass through, an opening in this otherwise enclosed bay. And as you're coming out this far, you can see that there's almost battlements that have been carved into parts of the stone. As you're getting closer now, not being on a ship, you can see that there's gate mechanisms. There actually is some sort of mechanism that will close off the bay if a command was given to do so. It's open and available now, allowable for ship passage, but you know that this place has its defenses, though they may be a little hidden. And as you get to the far extent of the bay, you would see that there is a cliffside that has some footholds available to it. There's some pathways where you can kind of walk along this otherwise craggy coast, and the waves crash down dozens of feet beneath you as you get towards the edge of the bay here. And it's nighttime. The moon nearly full kind of casts down on all of you. And it is about this time in the very far distance that you do hear the bells of the town ringing. Just so softly now at the distance where you are, but ringing all the same.
Regarding the battlements that we saw carved into the cliff base, do any of them lead inside, like any entrances into the cliff itself that might lead under the castle?
Not from where you are right now. But Fia did have the impression that if you were to follow the outside of the island, that you likely might find a cave system there. So if that is the way you would like to proceed, you absolutely may. So what's the plan?
Yeah. I feel like I feel awful right now because I feel like we royally mucked this up.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I that was sort of the end of my sentence, really, actually.
I feel like Saskia's very conflicted and distracted because at no point has she established where Renwick went.
Mm-hmm.
For all she knows, he is somewhere still in the castle by himself.
Just hope. I do hope Anubia and Desiree are okay. You know, I sort of regret not having some form of communication with them. We didn't think about that, did we?
No.
I think I think we have my vote is that we try and walk around. I can't I guess this is me having a hard time sort of picturing how big this area is that we're talking about. But like cuz we're on one side of the castle still technically.
I mean, as of right now, you're out in the bay. The bay is hundreds of feet. This isn't a tiny place. The city is rather large. You've flown out quite far to almost the far edge of this cliff of this almost like volcanic island, where you are now closer to the ocean. You are past the breakers of the bay. You're nearest where the waves are crashing here, and so the castle, the keep, is probably, I mean, a quarter mile from where you are at this point.
So sorry. And this might be me sort of like not understanding the sort of layout of the island and where we like fell in. And cuz I imagine if we thought that if the grotto is connected to the castle and we had flown out of one side of the castle, I imagined that we were flying out to stay close to try and circle to where we thought the grotto was. I wasn't expecting us to like fly far away from the castle.
Yes. So what I will throw out here.
Yeah.
The grotto
I just
is
am
not,
like having a hard time picturing like what
the grotto
what
is
the
intentionally hidden.
Oh, right. Yes.
It's not part of the bay. You would need to, because otherwise that's not very secret if that's where all the ships are.
No, of course not.
So you'd have to sail out of the bay to get to the grotto to access it from there. You all are technically getting closer to the cave entrance, but you've also picked up that there's two main entrances. One was inside the castle. Also, to throw this out there.
Yeah. I need a pitch.
I will just hint towards this because we also have a limited schedule ultimately.
Totally. Yeah.
Nico has not surfaced, indicating there might be
yet another
underwater entrance as well. Yeah. So you have picked option 3 so far, to go around and find the main mouth of the cave entrance, which you are on track to do.
Okay, great. That's all that's what I'm just like having this is me having a map confusion in my head of how this is all laid out. And so like yes. Okay, great. Perfect. I would like to keep looking for the grotto, I think.
I think the only thing that Saskia might wonder is if we should. I think she's wondering if. I think she's worried about being separated from Desiree and Anubia, and she doesn't know what's going on there.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think she kind of is like, it might be worth going back just to like try and surreptitiously check whether or not the two of them have come back down with tax party or not. And then if no matter what happens, whether they are or they aren't, to double back to the ship and then continue looking for the grotto. But that's going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, if we flew this further out than I had. I think I was like unclear on our distances for this too. And like, again, to be unclear on the orientation.
Is there anything you all would like? I mean, we can absolutely retcon something.
Right.
If you would like.
Right. Because I'm sort of with you in that like it would be worth.
It's always funny because it's like I know we should just put it. Saskia doesn't know that. I think she's gonna be like, you know what? I think she's also worried about Redwing. So I think she's like, they can handle themselves. We should probably just loop back and try and get back into the castle.
If
So
that's
she's looking for the grotto.
I trust your instincts, Saskia. And if that's what you wish to do, I think we should do that. Because I don't see... Personally, I don't feel like taking on... If we do run into Nico, I don't feel like taking on just the three of us again. I'm not doing too great. And perhaps I can talk my way out of this. Or I can talk our way out of this. If push comes to shove. Or we face the consequences and let Desiree and Anubia continue on with the mission.
Sure, they're fine. I think we should get back to our ship. To look for this grotto. And then get back in, find Moira, continue what we had told Anubia and Desiree we were doing.
So back to the ship.
Yes.
Okay. Back to the ship then.
Okay. Yeah, you would be able to make it to the Halcyon quite easily.
Great.
You're a few hundred feet from where that is now. Okay. You made it to the Halcyon. Let's cut back over to Anubia and Desiree then. The two of you have gone to the study once again to speak to Lord Adelas. And you would find him standing at one of the bookshelves and just kind of pacing around. As you enter the room, I will say that as you enter, doesn't necessarily acknowledge your presence there. And you catch him gazing up at the painting of the man that looks very similar to him. A man that has these very piercing eyes, darker hair. The painting is obfuscated somewhat, as if it's been damaged or smudged in a way. But he looks over, having been caught in something, almost this look of being startled. Oh, excuse me, I was deep in thought. The two of you are back. Have you gone to accept my offer then to stay at the castle?
Forgive me for intruding, but we have... our friends have not returned from their tour with Nico. And in looking for them, we came across a hall or a ballroom with a shattered window and blood and feathers on the ground.
It is quite disturbing.
Yes, we are deeply concerned for the state of our friends, and also it is our obligation as guests to inform you and cooperate as necessary.
Of course, you have done your due diligence, and I appreciate this. I suppose my concern now exists not only for your friends, but for mine as well. I worry what has become of Nico. Nicodemus has been... Well, he has been in my service for quite some time. Well, we will sideline the Hag mission for now. For the moment, it seems as if you must do something to figure out what happened to your friends. Do you all wish to return to the town, or is there some accommodations I can provide to you here? Without any bodies and with a broken window, I can only surmise that they might have taken a plummet. One of them seemed to be able to fly. I'm not sure about the others.
It would be my intent to search for them and discover the nature of what occurred tonight.
Of course. Where do you plan to begin your search?
If it is no trouble to you, I suppose out the window.
No, that is rather brave indeed.
I will not stop you, although I will ask how you plan to survive that dive.
Well,
We have our methods.
That is what I was hoping to hear. Well, then you need no permission from me, only that of gravity's, and I hope it is kind to you this day. Yes.
I hope as well. Please forgive me for any inconvenience.
Oh, Desiree, please.
Insult to your hospitality that might occur this evening.
None whatsoever. I am very glad to have someone of your caliber around, and I am interested to see how this all resolves itself. Try not to bleed too much.
See what I can do. Thank you, my lord.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Out the window, Anubia?
Well, seeing as there's literally no other choice, well, trace of them aside from that, I'd say so.
That's good.
Okay. How are the two of you taking this plummet out the window in as safe a manner as possible?
How far down is it?
Hundreds of feet.
Is it less than 1,000?
Yeah, probably.
Let me read up on exactly the Echo Knight teleportation shenanigans I used the other day. Okay, yeah, so I can summon the Echo, which can move through space, and I can jump into its senses, move up to 1,000 feet, and then switch places with it, banishing the Echo and reappearing where it is. And so, yeah, I'll summon the Echo and mosey my way on down 1,000 feet, and then port to it.
Okay. Anubia, how are you getting down as you see Desiree essentially blink out of existence and then reappear just at the surface of the water? I guess going into the water, but what's the plan for you?
Remember how I crossed the sea to get onto the ship where we found Renwick?
I do recall.
Yeah, I'm gonna employ something a little similar here. So, why essentially she's gonna add some she's be acrobatic and a little extra about it because why the hell not? So essentially, just taking a little as she sort of approaches the open window, so she essentially is going to almost launch into a forward roll before landing. If this is the wall, rolls over and just basically starts walking down.
Great. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. The two of you would also make it down to the water. Are you both of you going into the water, or I guess neither of you are necessarily flying? So this does seem like a swimming situation. So as the two of you do reach the water, it's calm here in the bay. There's not a heavy tide or anything like that. You also have heard the bells ring far off in the town. The town is maybe several hundred feet away from you to your right at this point. Off to the left, you would see the Halcyon and the mouth of the bay. Where would you like to go?
Well, it's water and they flew, so no tracks.
Right. If only you all had sending.
If only.
If only.
If
Dang.
only.
Let's all do perception checks real quick. This is for everybody.
Everybody, okay.
Oh, everybody.
Wait. I rolled a 26, but it didn't show me the die. That's a nat 20 for a total of 26.
Hey!
Say 21 for Croak.
22 for me.
23 for Anubia.
Weirdly, the lowest for me is 18. That's a low roll for me.
I'm gonna throw this to the highest roll because Saskia has had a number of
perceptive blunders recently. But Saskia, you, as you are reaching the halcyon, look out and see something climbing, essentially walking down the side of this jagged cliff face. And as your eyes focus, you see a little glint of gold and the silhouette of these two very tall ears on this otherwise, I would have to say, unsettling image of a humanoid walking down the side of this cliff face in this otherwise very haunted scenario. And then the little glint of metal on something that is treading water in the bay. I will hand this out to you, that you would definitely recognize this not as a werewolf climbing down the wall, but as your friend Anubia.
I will sort of tap both Fiach and Croak and point it out. I'm like, there, I think it's Anubia.
Oh, they must have found our presents we left them. Sure, that's a word for it. Should we go get them?
Naturally.
Yeah. See what they found out. Great. Perfect.
I don't have any real way of indicating to them that we're there, but
we are currently on the halcyon, correct? Is what
you
we have,
you just reached the deck.
We
Yeah.
just reached the deck. I don't. Oh, I just.
Can we? The moon's out, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Saskia points out where she saw Anubia, can I try flashing moonlight off of my silvered short sword to like try and signal them that that's
Sure.
where we are?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I'm happy just to let this happen, but if you want to do, I mean, I would call that sleight of hand or maybe even survival. But if you want to roll, I think that's cool enough just to let it happen. But if you want to go for a measure of success.
Sure, I'll roll. That is a dirty 20 on survival.
Great. You glint a little moonlight off of your blade, your already silvered blade. And as magical moonlight, magical silvering, silver is supposed to be representative of the moon itself. A little glint casts itself far off onto the cliff face. And Anubia, there's this deep primal sense of just wanting to bat at it as you see it kind of glinting off of the side there. And Desiree, you would absolutely see it as well. And looking out, you would see that it is coming from the halcyon.
Gotcha. I will use some more shenanigans once I am in 1,000-foot range and teleport on board.
Great.
Yeah, the good thing about Anubia's acrobatic movement skill lets her go across water, liquids as well. So she's essentially just walking on the top of water.
I guess we don't need to go and get them. They seem to be perfectly capable, and I don't know why I thought anything else other than that.
Okay. You've all reached the halcyon. Regrouped. What would you like to do?
What happened?
Well,
Croak immediately points a finger at Fiach.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Well, we thought that the plan was to go and look for Moira.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed to get away. We needed to get rid of that Nico guy, but he was.
Yeah.
I will say he was much tougher than we had expected. I think he's a werewolf Lugaroo type of sorts.
Well, it complicates things.
Yeah. So Saskia, in a brilliant bit of spellcasting, created a moonbeam on him, which caused him to jump out the window. And given that I don't think we did much damage to him, we I suspect that he's still out there somewhere. And part of us, we were hoping to try and find that hidden grotto we had looked for. And going back into the house seemed unwise at the time. So we're here.
So it was an unprovoked attack on our end.
I would
I'm
say
just trying to understand the situation. I don't mean to accuse, but
yes. Well, I thought we just needed to get rid of him. And also, I didn't like the way...
Right.
I didn't like the way that he called you a little bunny. I'll be super honest. So... Okay, it was perhaps a little I would have called it provoked, but perhaps it was a bit unprovoked. I couldn't think...
Like Anubia just like pinching the bridge of her nose at this point. And just
Sorry. I muck things up, I know.
Croak lets out like a little trilling trumpet noise.
What did you learn?
There's something we can do for Adderlast that he has not been able to accomplish himself. There's apparently a hag on the island that is the source of the feral vampirism, and if I were to hazard a guess, perhaps not unrelated to whatever he's got going on himself. It's not clear.
Most definitely.
But he wants her dead, and he's been unable to accomplish this himself. So, perhaps new plan. Stay low. Don't get caught by him. Kill this hag, and the next time we see him, show up with the head. I do not think he will be happy to see us once he gets a report from Nicodemus.
Who, by the way, was the person he assigned to gather information and try and kill the hag.
So what we need to do is prove that we are more useful than his current crop.
Right. Well, shit.
I don't see any other way into the castle aside from a just direct covert infiltration.
We have...
So...
I agree.
I guess now is the time to choose. Do we want to stay under the radar, or do we want at least an invitation inside? We have enough leads that, in theory, we might be able to get in. We know security is a little lighter around tax collecting time, but that's also when Adderlast will be at his strongest.
Right.
I think an invite and a searching of the castle while the taxes are being collected is our best bet. But I'm not the only person here.
And you have that invite.
Yes. Once we get the head of the hag,
Right.
we'll be alright to return.
But we have no information on this hag because...
She lives in the jungle, and Nico was supposed to tell us about what he knew. So we'll be starting from scratch.
Croak will raise a wing, and then he'll pantomime stirring a pot, and then let out like, I guess like a stereotypical like cackle that you would associate with like a witch from like a storybook. He'll gesture to the group of us, form like a box with his wings, and pantomime putting something in it. Pantomime picking up the box, gesture to the castle, and then he will pantomime something springing out of the box, make the same motion to indicate the hag, and then kind of bang his fist together, and then gesture to the rest of us, make like a tiptoeing motion and a searching motion.
Hag in a box.
Make our two enemies fight each other.
Yeah?
Not a bad plan.
That's very good. If we can get the hag to... Although, if we can convince the hag to go along with this particular plan,
From what it sounds like, there's no good relationship between her and Atlas, according to him at least.
And hags love deals. Surely we can bargain something.
Making a lot of deals right now, but I kind of like that idea a lot, Croak.
It's not a bad plan.
It's really not. It's a better one than I mean, I would say that my plans have not worked so far, so I'm all up for a different plan.
Well, it's better than anyone I would have given, which would have been just to charge in and just butcher all of them.
Mine would have been. I would have been with you on that quite, Anubia, but I will tell you, having met at least their Nico, who I would have sworn was just a nothing, was going up against him without the two of you was not my wisest decision ever.
Saskia, thoughts?
I don't know. I just think that myself, Fiach, and Croak have got to avoid these people as much as possible at this point, because I think even if we were to help you eliminate this hag, I don't think it will buy us enough good grace for attacking Nico unprovoked. You know? I also have no idea where Renwick is.
I was going to ask that. Where is he?
That is true.
I don't know. He was there 1 second and then he was gone the next. That is a minor concern, though.
I think that's a problem that we will have to worry about later.
Yes.
If he wandered off, that's his. That's on him, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, we don't need to convince Adderlass that Nico struck first. We just need to sew enough down. We just need to present at least one convincing, plausible argument that suggests an alternative.
I mean...
And we only need it to work for a few minutes.
I mean, we know that there is, excuse the turn of phrase, bad blood of some sort between Cadigan and Adderlass, if I recall.
There's some conflict there.
Properly. If we could suggest that Nico and Adderlass are trying to undermine any new additions to this coterie, it might work for a few minutes.
That's all it needs to work for.
You actually might be onto something with that as well. Go ahead.
Croak will scratch his beak and then make the he'll hunch over, kind of like hold his wings up, splayed like claws, and he'll mimic the noise that Nico had made when he was transforming, and then hold a wing flat and then pantomime scribbling something, and then point to himself and then pantomime scribbling again.
Forge a note from Nico? Am I picking that up right? Not a bad idea.
Could make it out from Cadigan. I mean, I could imagine he wouldn't be too pleased about any new additions, especially considering I don't know how much of a joke it was, but he did offer to make Des his new first mate should we complete our mission.
Oh. Well, that certainly calls for some concern from those already in the ranks.
I think what we need to find out now is what is our immediate next step.
It seems, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the idea is to go after that hag first.
I think
And
so.
I think so.
That way we're coming back with at least something accomplished, and
Exactly.
Adderlass might be more inclined to forgive some minor transgressions. Because I will say all of the subterfuge is absolutely fine. I'm also willing to, if need be, I can throw myself under the bus for the rest of you. It was entirely me who got into a kerfuffle, and there is a certain amount of, as harpies, we're nothing but slaves to our passions, and he's a fucking werewolf. Like, also, we're could be convinced that it was just a minor scuffle and not sort of, over slighted insults, which I'm sure as a captain he's used to. You'll know how pirates are.
But yeah, I say this with only admiration and respect. You are too good of a liar for us to have to worry about.
Fair enough.
Throwing you under the bus like that.
Well, see,
if anyone can spin a convincing yarn, I trust you to do it.
Oh, yeah, very sweet.
Well, I don't know. I think you might make a close second, Des.
Do my best.
So, we need to find this hag.
Yes.
Is our next step. The next step before that is we would need to find out any information about her.
Right.
Which means that Desiree and Anubia have to probably find Nico to get that information.
The question I have is he really the only one who knows about this hag? We do have a friend in that bartender who may have some information. Also,
I think
he seemed to know a little more about a lot of things.
Saskia, Croak, do you have any spells or magic that might be able to detect Fae?
Not at this distance.
What about closer? We know the hag is in the jungle somewhere.
Yeah, but it's 60 feet. We'd be wandering around forever.
Yeah.
Croak will just shrug and then point up and then to his eyes. Kind of indicates like he can look from up high. That's about it.
But with tree cover, that makes that difficult. The other thing is if she's the one who's if Adderlass wasn't lying and she is the one who's creating all these feral hags, which I don't 100% believe, but also don't know why he would be lying about that. But if we perhaps follow the feral vampires, like where they're most concentrated, you would think that they would be closer to follow the trail to the hag.
I agree.
Would be an option.
I'm inclined to think we talk to Lysander, see what he knows, and from there, go into the jungle.
Okay.
Especially if we go during the day.
Right. Our vampire friends won't be particularly active.
Maybe I'm being overconfident, but I am inclined to believe that between the 5 of us, we'll be able to find something.
I think so.
Yeah.
So.
And then the letter idea for Nico, do we still want to do that? And would that be before we head off, or do we want to leave, drop that somewhere near a gate or something?
What do you think the chances are we could feed it to Lysander?
Oh, intriguing.
Have him plant it, or...
But also, we're not sure if Nico wouldn't have made his way. There are several secret entrances, or at least we know of at least one hidden entrance to the castle itself. There's no telling that Nico hasn't already made his way back to Adderlass.
That we can almost certainly assume he will make it back before anything we do. His story will get ahead of us.
Right. But as far as he knows, I just attacked him out of the blue, which, there was no. Which again, and that's where I'm sort of like. And that's where I'm coming in with. Well, if his story gets to Adderlast first, I can swing it as a why I did it in the first place. And again, passions heated.
As long as we stay out of sight,
Mm-hmm.
it should be fine.
Okay.
Okay. So, that was a lot of
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
But
okay.
I think.
One person, what is the plan moving forward?
So, if I'm interpreting this right, I think the current plan is to return to town, speak to Iskander, see what kind of information he can offer us, and then from there, see if we can locate this hag.
Great.
And
I think that's a good first step.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we can make it a better determination after that. Let's go ahead and take our break there.
Perfect.
When we come back, we can see how that results. Go from there. Stick around. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Pet your pets, do the things. Make sure to hydrate. Remember that we are raising money for the Trans-Latina Coalition. You can donate to that cause at any time and add some incentives to our game. Stick around. Oh, hi. Bastin, welcome back to Harbingers. Thanks for the thumbs up. Special thank you to Eva for the production work for this game, and special thank you to Michael Sandoval for the artwork that you see on stream, as well as in all of our promotional materials. Okay, let's jump back into things. You all have headed back into town. It is pretty empty right now, as you know that further into the town, the taxes are being collected. And so as you make your way to the Owl Light Inn and into the inn itself, you would see a somewhat surprised Lyskander to see you walking all in at the time of taxes, and sitting at the bar in front of him is a rather calm-looking Renwick, who would then turn to look at you. Oh, hello, you all made it back.
As did you?
Yes, I lost track of you all, and I decided I should just come back to, I figured this was a meeting place.
Can I roll insight on that?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't even think Saskia is gonna roll it. Just, when did you lose track of us? When?
You all split into two groups, and then some of you went. I didn't know where I was supposed to go, and I got turned around. It's very dim in that the candles and statuary were very disconcerting, and I think I just stumbled into the shadows, and then when I turned around, you all were gone.
I would also like to roll insight on this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a 21 on mine, so yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That is a 16 on my end.
Okay. Every physical indicator about him, if this man had a tell, you don't see it. If he is lying, you don't perceive it. It seems as if he is calm. He is, as calm as Renwick often appears, which is like a really skittish cat that's just its ears have perked up just a little bit to where it's not going to run away right away, but its eyes are still really wide. Speaking from personal experience with cats I have. But he is anxious, but calm at the same time, if that makes sense. But there's no indicator that he is being untruthful that you all would pick up.
Turned around to tell you which group you were going to go with, and you were just gone, just vanished.
Well, that's so strange. I turned around and you all were just gone. I hope I didn't fall into some sort of strange pocket dimension, or there's all sorts of weird dark magics around, I'm sure. I just came back with the tax collectors, and they said I was good to go, and so I came back to the tavern. Anyway.
Next step.
Okay.
Lyskander, where is he?
I'm right in front of you. I was serving your friend here. He was rather thirsty. I've been drinking water.
Great.
I'm so glad.
Yes. Is there something that you needed?
Ah,
You all are back at a strange time when
I wouldn't worry about it too
the
much.
taxes are being...
What do you know about a hag in the jungle?
He drops the glass that he's holding.
Nothing. Why do you ask?
You're a terrible liar already. We need to find her.
Okay, all right. You all have been strange, to say the least.
Yes,
During
we
this,
know.
this whole...
We get that
yes,
reaction a lot.
I had to imagine. Who are all of you? Why are you here?
I have forgotten what we have told him.
Nothing.
But perfect.
Above table, I don't know if we've told him anything.
Perfect.
You have told me absolutely nothing.
Right.
You have come in, you have rented rooms, you all dress similarly, and yet some of you are hinting about this or that, and some... It's just... straightforward.
It's better for you if you don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Saskia leave him a Triskelion symbol?
I tried,
So-
but I don't know if he read my
From
mind.
what I
This is-
recall,
Yes.
she, under the assumption that he was the one like scanning minds as people came
Yes.
in, projected the image of the Triskelion
Yes.
in her head.
But that
Assuming
would
that he would
that
see
would
it.
be yes, that would only be if he had actually detected any thoughts, which I don't think he did. So he knows
Okay, yeah.
nothing. He knows nothing.
I cannot help you if you cannot tell me anything. You have paid coin, that is enough to get a room, but I am not going to trust you any more than that with my own secrets, if you will not trust me with even one of yours.
Croak will look to the others and like...
It's reasonable.
Is
That's
there
fine.
anybody else in the room?
Just
Or is
remember,
everybody's okay?
Yeah, he probably already knows. Croak will hold up the clasp of his cloak to show off the Triskelion symbol.
Harbingers. Come with me then.
And he slithers from behind, being half snake, slithers from behind the bar and goes into the kitchen, which is behind the bar, back to, I guess, as you walk in towards your left. Should you follow him, you would go into a large and cold at this time. The kitchen seemed to have closed down a decent bit, but there is a larger hobgoblin woman who is standing at a cutting board and seems to be doing prep work. And she turns around and she shouts something in Goblin and like waves a cleaver at him, and he shouts something back. Turns back to all of you.
Don't mind her. She is, she's worried about Hippo. It's a health agency sort of thing. They...
No. Sure.
Anyway,
this way. And he goes a little bit further into the kitchen to almost a secondary area. And there is a large stove that seems to be set into the wall. He reaches and flicks on a couple of the burners, like turning the knobs, and a very specific pattern turns each of them, and then the stove moves off to the right, revealing a staircase that leads downwards. And he slithers down the stairs.
Please, follow me.
Is Renwick accompanying us?
Yeah,
assume
he's,
so.
unless you intentionally left him behind, he's just... This is very exciting.
He's coming. Might as
Um,
well.
I will say as we're descending, I was like, this is what I was looking for. This mark.
Oh, well.
You would reach the bottom of the staircase and see an unfinished basement. There's like support beams. It's very damp down here. Yeah, you can tell that the river is seeping in somewhat, as there's some dry pockets of dirt here, but there's a lot of mud all the same. It is pretty bare down here. There's a few barrels of some supplies. You can see that there's also like a small training area where there's like a training dummy that's set up with a little bit of armor on it. You know, the arm extended out with a shield, the other one with like a wooden sword. It seems to have seen, you know, some use. You can see a rack of weapons, which all have a little bit of rust on them. A couple of sets of armor, which also are somewhat rusted as well, and an altar, which is I would say the brightest and most well-kept place in the basement. It has a lot of sun iconography on it and is well lit with a variety of candles, which seem to be almost ever burning, in the sense that even as the air kind of moves around here, they don't seem to flicker. They seem to have a magical quality that keeps them lit.
We do not serve the same deity, and yet at the same time, I think that our goals might be somewhat aligned if you are searching for the hag. My name is Sir Lyskander. I am a member of the Golden Flame. I was sent here decades ago with the goal of gathering information, providing a safe haven to Golden Flame members who found their ways to this shore. I am only known to the higher members as the secrecy of my placement here is imperative to my survival. And now I trust that knowledge to you all, as well, as you seem to have more knowledge than most who come to this island. So you want to kill a hag?
Sure.
I appreciate the commitment. Why are all of you here? What is the goal of killing the hag? Do you even know anything about her?
There's something in the castle we need to retrieve. Killing the hag will ingratiate us with the person who owns the castle and get us back inside.
I see.
Captain Adderlass has one of ours. Very important to our order.
Sorry, I said which one?
Are they both still alive?
The captains? Oh, as far as I'm aware, yes.
Don't like that.
Did I not say Captain Adderlass?
The younger, I suppose.
Oh.
Is the one I worry about most. Well, what I can tell you about Sahag is that she is she is older than the island itself, as far as I've been able to tell. She goes by the name Madame Daciana. She is, from my research, I believe her to be the source of all of the vampirism that plagues this island. I believe she has made her domain, her hagdom kingdom, of one of blood. Many hags will choose an archetype to embody. That is hers. The little lore that I have found, and I use the word lore because I am not sure whether it is true or legendary or where fact meets fiction, but it is said that she was part of a coven at one time that had a bad breakup of sorts. She came to this island and decided to make it home, and she has been the source of much trouble on this island. But I was sent here to gather the information, not to seek her out, and that is the information I can pass on to you. I suppose I can pinpoint on the map a rough idea of where I believe her hag lair to be, and perhaps that is helpful.
That would be quite
helpful.
Croak will produce his copy of our shuttly drawn map.
Yeah. Our
I see.
previous informant had some conflicts.
Yes, that will happen. Very well. I will...
He takes the map from Croak.
Is it alright if I make some improvements to this? Wonderful.
Pulls out a quill and begins to, like, kind of sketch in certain parts, sketch in some trails, sketch in further detail into the jungle itself, puts big X's on certain parts of the jungle, and basically lines out a pathway, and then circles a point on the map with a rough distance as well.
The X's on this map are places that I would actively avoid. It is places where the feral vampires are most tenacious. The circle is where I believe, roughly within, I would say, a quarter of a mile, the hag's lair to be. I don't think it moves too much, but what is helpful is if you can follow the river. The redder that the river gets, the closer you get as well. She has been, and I say this with all import, do not drink from the river. It will poison you in a way that is irreversible.
Noted.
Good to know.
With that said, once you gain entrance to the castle, what is your goal at that point? Do you seek to fell Lord Adalas?
Be
Not
nice,
necessarily.
but
It would be a nice bonus, but
we're just here to find our missing member and get out. We'd like to get rid of him, but if we can't.
Distance isn't an anathema to our god. Well, to the Morrigan. But we have been given strict instructions to get Moira out, our friend Moira out. And not worry about the rest of it.
If, however, there were to be a force of your people who happened to assault the keep at the same time we were doing our business, then, well...
I fear you misunderstand. There is no force of anyone who is coming to help you. I had received word that there was a force that was meant to arrive, but it has been days now, and I fear that their journey was waylaid in a severe, perhaps fatal way.
Fia looks at Renwick.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what is he doing?
Was it under the command of Lord Artorius?
Yes, it was.
Oh. I am your army.
We saved one for you.
Great.
Saskia's just like looking at the scanner. Yeah.
Are you a knight? In training? All right. Are any of you, and he gestures to all of you, are any of you knights? Something similar enough to? Something better than in training?
We are a lot of things, but very good at our jobs.
I will be honest. Having this station has been difficult, seeing so many failed attempts of my order to try and rectify the vampirism of this island. You all seem like you have the best chance, that you are the closest to being successful, so I might be betting on the wrong centaur here, but it's worth a shot nonetheless. And he goes over to the... Go ahead.
Perhaps it's time for a new order to try.
Perhaps. And he will slither over to the altar.
While he's doing that, Croak will look to the others and like make the box shape and then stirring motion with his hands and like point to him. It's like,
Gander in the box.
It's more like, should we tell him about like the
I think Fiach goes like this partly because I think Fiach is like, the hag in a box is a great plan if we can get it to work, but the alternative is we kill her. So until we actually deal with her, we aren't sure who knows what kind of bargain we can make with her. And until that happens, we just Lyskander that's better off not knowing.
For his own anxiety at this rate.
It's my snake in a box. All right. He goes over to a case, a long case that is on the altar, and unclasps it in two places. And from within, he draws a blade that gleams. Not just gleams with light, but glows actively. It's a long sword, and he will take it by the hilt and kind of flip it around and offer it to anyone who will take it. This is a sunblade. It was one that I was granted here to give to whomever would have the best chance of success in taking out the vampire lords here. It can cast bright light, active sunlight, a direct antidote to the poison that plagues this place. And I offer it to all of you as a gesture of friendship between our two orders. If anybody would like a sunblade.
I think Saskia looks at Desiree, since she's most likely to be close enough to Outerlass out of the group.
Very well. I'll take the sunblade.
Let me add that to your inventory. Is the rare type, and I recommend the non-legacy one. The newer one I think is a little better.
Yes.
Hands the map back to Croak.
Good travels to you all. I hope that you are successful in whatever comes next.
Thank you for your help.
I'm still charging you for the rooms. I just want to be clear.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
Of course. Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's fair.
It's more, I feel like this is a good chance since you're part of the Golden Flames and Renwick is a mate in training, perhaps while we're away, the two of you could catch each other up.
He looks at Renwick.
I'm busy.
Really? Do we have to take him with it? Okay.
If he is seeking his knighthood, he's not going to fight it here.
All right, Renwick, looks like you're going hag hunting too.
Oh. I failed that class.
Welcome to summer school. Let's get going.
Right.
When did you all, like time of day, when did you want to all go in after the hag?
Morning.
I think daytime, I think was what we said, yeah.
Dawn is probably a good time to set up.
All right. In that case, you're welcome to get rest for the night. Is there anything any of you wanted to do before resting?
Good.
I think
You're going
if
first.
Croak has not done so already, then he will inform the rest of the party about the topaz and the cargo that he had seen. Just as like a potential alternate distraction if need be.
Good to know. We'll keep that in the back.
In this order, I'm going to cast a. Wait, how many spell slots do I have? Okay, I can't do. No, wait, I can. I'm going to cast a locate object using my last second spell slot to replace the moonbeam that into my ring of spell storing. And then maybe this is a bad idea, but while Renwick is asleep, or I think he's asleep, I would like to try and cast Remove Curse on him.
Okay.
I have that prepped.
Great. Yeah, Remove Curse. Let me pull that one up here real quick, unless you already have it pulled up.
Yes. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. All curses. If the object is a cursed magical object, its curse remains, but breaks attunement, so it's just the instantaneous one action touch. So I will have to touch him while he's asleep.
Okay. Yeah, you make contact. He doesn't seem to stir at all. You channel this magic through him. You watch as the wave of magic is cast over him, and he doesn't wake. He doesn't seem to stir, and you do not notice any clear changes about him.
Okay. Would I be able to get a sense from the way the magic happened if it dispelled any curse on him, or I'm happy to make a check for this.
Yeah, roll Arcana for that.
Wow.
6.
R.I.P.
You're not even sure if you cast a spell at this point. No, even with a 6, I think that you hear that sound in your head when you're on your computer and like you misclick something and it goes like boom, like it's that you, as far as you can tell, there wasn't a curse on Renwick.
He's just weird. That's scarier. Okay.
He is in fact weird.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just go to bed. Well, I'm probably not gonna sleep after that. Just in bed.
Okay. Okay. Anything anybody else wanted to do?
Fia's just on the roof. She will rest, but she does not sleep.
Okay. All right. Then the night passes. Morning arrives. How would you all like to proceed?
Out the gate. Probably right where we well, we'll follow the map that Lysander, I assume. Don't know if we need to do anything else. We have our path laid ahead of us, we think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think. Let
In that
Croak
case.
lead the way, perhaps.
Okay. All right. Heading out of town then. It's dawn. The sun has a decent prominence in the sky and casts long shadows now as you head to the edge of town and the edge of the jungle as well. Fia and Croak know that, like, even a few hundred feet in, you had some issues with the feral vampire. But you don't see or hear anything necessarily disconcerting at this time. And it was getting towards the end of the day when you all approached in the first place. Maybe they're all back wherever they need to be. Do feral vampires have coffins? I don't know. Croak is leading.
Yeah, I will lead using the map.
Great. Go ahead and roll survival with advantage then.
Survival. Okay, that's a total of 26.
Right. Croak, it is, I think, frustrating how easy the path is to find, considering like how ramshackle I think you and Fia's first venture into this forest was, into this jungle was.
Path was like
As
right
you-
off to the side.
Yeah, you travel in and it's almost like a deer path, where you see that it's decently overgrown and yet seems to be traveled by something. Maybe the feral vampires, maybe something else. And you can hear the trickling of water as you realize that you're not too far from a river. It's about this time that, as you're about to branch off the path, you hear something coming up from behind you. And as you all would look back, you would see the tabaxi on their dinosaurs coming down the path as well.
Can I look around to see if I can, like, a sufficient undergrowth that we can hide in?
For sure. Oh, in the jungle, very easy to do so. Like, no roll needed. Like, if you go off the path, you all would be sufficiently hidden by trees and undergrowth and everything else.
Okay, in that case, I will gesture to, like, a patch of undergrowth and direct everyone to, like, take cover.
Okay. Presuming you all do, you would see the tabaxi, two of them, atop ankylosauruses. Both of them, the ankylosauruses, hooked up to a cart that is pulling a incredibly large box with adamantine struts and chains all around it and warning signs in every language to stay clear. And you can hear that there's a third tabaxi that's kind of walking just ahead of them, that's almost walking backwards and is chattering in something in tabaxi to them, and they all kind of laugh a little bit. And they seem to be heading up the pathway, the same pathway that you all took to get to the keep. And presuming you do nothing, they eventually pass and continue on around the bend in the jungle.
I have so many questions, and
Ability to answer.
right. I'm not sure if I want to know the answer. Anyway, onward.
Imagine we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, probably.
Two options. Those are food or pets.
Or both.
Food pets.
Food pets. It's a thing.
Yeah. Like, I mean, kind of chickens if you think about it.
I was gonna say, like
yeah.
any kind of livestock, yeah.
Yeah, that's a food pet. Okay. Continuing on then, you all traverse down this pathway. It is, I would say, maybe uncomfortable how quiet the jungle is, considering how used to it you are of insect noises and everything else. And there's a little bit of that, but it all seems distant. It's like the path you're traveling down almost feels like you're going through a tunnel of sorts. You don't hear anything scurrying through the trees. You don't see the eyes of any eye shine. All you hear is off in the distance the sound of insects and that trickling of water. It's a few hours into the jungle. It's dense here. It's hot. It's humid. Some of you are wearing armor. Some of you just aren't used to this kind of closeness of the air. There's this kind of almost sucking nature to the soil itself, where there's some parts where your feet will almost get pulled in, not quicksand like, but just the way the soil just compounds onto itself, all of this decaying matter just building up more and more, just the sheer amount of life, death, and the entropy between that exists in jungle environments. But the path curves, it winds, but it travels forward all the same. And several hours in, you start to smell smoke. It's wood smoke. It's the smell of a fireplace. And you get to a clearing. And it's here that you can hear the river most clearly. And you can see that it's trickling out here, just slightly, almost like a babbling brook sort of noise. And you would look past the trees, the clearing where the jungle breaks, and see, honestly, a cozy little cottage. It has a thatched roof, somewhat circular in design, has a chimney with smoke coming out of the top of it. You can see that there's a couple of small gardens that seem to be somewhat well tended. But as you look here through the trees and you see the river as it is coursing past this cottage, you can see that the river is running red, blood red.
Sure.
The door to the cottage is closed. You don't see anybody about. What would you like to do?
I would like to... I'll hold up a finger. While we were traveling, did I notice any wagon tracks from the tabaxi that were left behind? Were they going the same direction, like, consistently that we are? Or did they, like, veer off at any point?
I mean, you went into the jungle when they continued up the path to the castle. So it seemed like they were following the path that you all took to the castle, but you lost sight of them hours ago.
Okay, so
we didn't meet them coming.
You went in opposite directions. You were going away from the castle, further into the jungle.
So might be safe to assume that they were going to Castle Hollowvow.
Yes, I think that's a safe assumption.
Okay. Good to know. I'm going to hold up a finger, and then I'm going to take out one of my empty vials. One of the ones I had stored the blood of Mr. Hammond. I would like to go over to the river and like to fill it.
Sure. You may absolutely do that.
And I'll securely cork it and put it away for later.
Okay.
I thought this was going to take longer, or that we'd run into more of those feral vampires on the way here.
Good math.
Because
daytime.
True. Because this, to me, I don't know about the rest of you, but a little cottage in the middle of the jungle feels like hag behavior.
It does.
So, next step. We knock on the door, we have a nice little conversation, she doesn't kill us.
Hopefully.
We convince her to sneak, I don't know, make herself tiny, and we put her in a bottle, and I don't know. Whatever. Sneak her in. Like, what do we do?
I think the idea is that we show up with her supposedly dead, like in a coffin sort of situation. Although they wanted, a head or something? I don't know.
I don't
metaphorical, I believe.
Yeah.
Got it. But we should have, the body of a hag with us.
Yeah.
So she has
Hopefully,
to be...
she's a hag. I'm sure she has some method of appearing dead.
Probably. I'd have to double check, but I may be also able to help with that in some way, if necessary. Although a hag who lives by a river of blood, I feel, and who creates vampires, I'm sure must appear undead somehow. Yeah, knock on the door. Let's have a nice conversation and see where it goes. See if she's willing to play ball with us.
Sure. You take the lead with the talking?
Yeah, I will.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. I will knock on the door.
I will be standing 15 feet back.
Yay. Love
I
the
will
confidence.
stand at Fiach's side.
I sort of reach out and just hand back for Croaks. I just need a little moment. Okay.
I'll hold it.
Thank you.
I'll stand behind it, Fiach as well. Just to, yeah.
You knock on the door. And it's a simple wooden door. It's fully enclosed, like you can see through it. It's not like Shrek's door, but it's like Shrek's door if he gave a shit.
Sure.
Actually, I'm realizing a really good way of describing it.
Yeah.
As you do, the door simply unlashes itself and swings open, and within you see a dark cottage. It is lit by the embers that exist within the fireplace, not too far away from a table, where a woman, maybe in her, you would guess, like, not middle age, a little younger than that, but she's, you know, she's not super young. She's not in her 20s. Maybe you might guess like 30s to maybe like a really good 50s. She sits there. She seems to be well put together. Her clothing is very nice. She wears a shawl about her shoulders. I would say probably dressed far too warmly for whatever this environment is, as you can feel like the sweat trickling down your backs even as you stand here. She has a deck of cards that she's just shuffling in her hands. Her fingers covered in rings. There's makeup on her face, just jewelry dangling. That's what you get right away. Why don't y'all do perception checks?
Great. God, Mother Mary Joseph.
7.
I say the dice really love me rolling this number. 23.
18.
24.
Okay. For Anubia and Croak, what you would notice is that while everything in here seems well put together, there is an intense smell of coppery blood, old, like dried blood. There's what seems like red paint in some places. You know that if you flaked off a little bit, would have an irony consistency to it. You will also see that the deck of cards that she is shuffling is it's a fate deck. It's one that's used for foretellings, fortune tellings, essentially.
Sure.
I think Croak is locked on that deck of cards. I'm remembering the last time.
It is.
He
I
dealt
should say,
with one of those.
yeah, it is not a deck of many things. So there is that. This is one that is more benign and non-magical, unless you have that. It's a tarot deck. But D&D doesn't have tarot, it has Taroka, but that's specifically Curse of Strahd, and while this is Strahd-esque, this is not Strahd. And so we will be using Taroka, essentially, should you want to engage in that. But it's like Taroka without the copyright on it. Fia, you pick up a lot of that. I think the blood is very evident as well.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that
Familiar.
you would pick up that nobody else would. And I think it's because nobody else met her. So behind this woman, there's candles, there's tchotchkes all over the place. There's little things, there's little glints of shinies all about, in addition to things that are very tarnished and worn. But there's a painting that's behind her, and it has a curtain a bit about it, and you can see that the painting is of 3 women. And one of the women is the woman that's sitting in front of you here.
Yep.
And you can see that there's another one who is a little older, sterner. She has dark hair that kind of drapes over her face. You don't necessarily recognize her, but the woman who's standing the tallest amongst them all with a smile that is only in her mouth and not in her eyes, a slight bluish tint to her skin, and ornate jewelry that seems to drip from her. You would see the sea witch Eula Saltsmile, a woman that you now know is the mother of Krakens.
The heck
that
you say?
Was a demigod in disguise as a hag. And so you can see this painting is kind of like shoved towards the back. Again, there's almost like a curtain that's draped over. You can see just enough of Eula that she's not being fully hidden, but it definitely has the vibe of like putting up a picture on your fridge and it has like your friend's ex in it, and you put like a magnet over the ex's face because you still like the picture of your friend.
Right.
It has that feeling to it.
Oh, well, there's a fine kettle of fish. All right.
She looks up as you open the door.
Hello.
Hello.
My
Can I
name
help you?
I was going to say yes. My name is Fiach of the Rowan, and these are a few friends of mine. May we come in?
Of course. Please. Please. Take a seat wherever you like. Can I... Oh, it's nice to have visitors. I rarely have visitors here anymore. People don't like coming this far into the jungle.
Oh, it's quite a trek.
It is. It is. And hopefully it'll be worth it.
I hope so too.
Can I offer you anything to eat or drink?
Oh, we're good, I think. Right? Yes, I think we're good.
That remains to be seen. Strangers coming to your door can be good or foul, but that is something we will decide.
Right. Nice picture you have there, by the way.
Is it?
Well, nice might be not quite the right word, but it is a picture of note.
Yes. Of note.
Well, let's see. We have come this way quite a bit to come see you, so might as well get straight to the point.
You're here to have your fates read.
And she spreads out the cards.
Of course.
Sure. Let's start there.
Start and finish, of course.
Who would like to draw a card?
I'll draw one.
You draw the ghost.
Cool. Great.
It is a card that has a specter looming with a lantern on it.
Haunted by something, are we? A bit of the looming past?
I just look at Fia looks at Desiree. Something like that.
You may keep that.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'll draw a card.
I thought you might.
You have drawn... Let me just get this to loom here. Or load, rather. You have drawn the Merchant, the Four of Coins. It has a woman holding an open palm with 4 coins in it.
It seems as if you have been offered a rare business opportunity.
Could indeed say that.
It is also one that marks a dangerous transaction. I would be wary of any buying or selling. In the near future, of course.
Anubia would also draw a card. Yeah.
Yes, you will.
Anubia, you have drawn the Beast.
Great rage or passion lives in you, perhaps? Something bestial or malevolent hiding in plain sight or lurking just below the surface? Do you have something inside you or trying to keep at bay?
You could say that.
I did, in fact.
This is a generator. I promise. Like, it's coming up with this shit. This is why, like, after last season, I just trust this.
It's
so good.
I've just learned to trust the cards ever since even just did everything.
You gotta trust them. Yeah.
You gotta.
That's wild.
I think Saskia will also draw a card since this hag seems so convinced that we have to do this.
Strange. The Conjurer, the Nine of Stars. It typically depicts the coming of an unexpected supernatural threat. Is there anything unexpected around you, little bird?
Look to Renwick.
He looks at all of you.
I don't want to draw a card. Thank you for looking at me, though.
Hey, Croak, if you want to, don't want to, or if you do, these aren't magical. She is, but the cards are not.
Croak will hesitate for a moment, and I think you will reach for a card. Fiach, you will feel his grip on your hand tighten a little as he pulls one.
Oh, you are a dear, aren't you? The shepherd, the four glyphs. You protect others, I can see. You bear a burden far too great for your little shoulders, I think.
Bye.
I think Croak will just look up at Fiach and then make a little trilling noise.
Oh, you are good.
Am I?
Well, at this, anyway.
You have participated in my little tradition. It feels though there is something else you wanted to ask of me.
There
you
is.
came all this way after all.
There is something we would like to ask. Desinia? Desinia?
Desiana. Madam Desiana.
Madam
Yes.
Desiana. I would have remembered Desiana. There is something we would like to ask Madam Desiana. You see, we were actually sent here to kill you.
That's very quaint.
Yeah. From what we've gathered, I imagine that would be a very difficult, if not near impossible task, even for one such as ourselves. So instead, we'd like to make... Well, I'd like to make a proposition.
I will listen to it.
You see, there is... I imagine you are familiar with the Lord Captain Bloodbeard Adderlass.
We've met. Yes.
Figured. He's got something of ours that we wish desperately to have back. And as he's the one who sent us to kill you, we figured that you may be interested in having a way to... Now, I am not one to speak on the relationship between the two of you, but I imagine it's not great.
I have nothing against him. He came to me, a while ago. Said his son was sick. Needed some sort of cure. Heard there was a cure on this island, and he's not wrong. I just wasn't the cure he was looking for. He didn't know that at the time, but who am I to turn down a proposition such as that? I am a practitioner of certain types of... Healing isn't the right word.
No, I mean,
ramifications.
Mm-hmm.
Consequences, perhaps. Consequences aren't bad things. People think they are, but consequences can be positive, they can be neutral. They are the outcomes of a situation, and the outcome that he faced was ultimately the result he was seeking. He found immortality. I gave it to him. I gave it to all of my children, you understand. But he was terribly ungrateful. And he's been trying to kill me ever since, from his big stone house on the hill.
Right. Well, we were wondering, if you might be interested in paying him a visit and helping us get inside to get what we're looking for back.
You want me to leave the safety of my home to go to the person that's trying to kill me?
Well, a powerful being such as yourself, I'm sure, wouldn't have any problem with someone like that. I'm told you are as old as this island itself.
Older, and you flatter. But I have my roots where I have them. You would not ask any plant to simply move itself. You would not ask a great tree to be great from where it stood. If you wish to cut me down, that is one thing, to uproot me, but I am planted here, and it is here that I find my power and my magic. So, you come into my home with knives. Ooh. But you let me read you cards, and you keep your knives sheathed.
And we told you of our intentions.
Yes, and I believe you. I think the difficulty that I have is that you have come with one knife drawn, haven't you?
I'm sorry, I don't know to which you are referring.
She looks past you. Give me 1 second here. She looks past Saskia at Renwick.
I will flirt him.
Renwick, that face does not suit you. You look quite ugly. You should go back to the way you used to look. Your original face, or that handsome one you wore a few years ago with that other group that you brought here. What were they? Golden Flame? Something along those lines? Yes, I think that's what it was. They fed my children quite well. It was a fine peace offering from your lord, but these, I fear, are going to be a little too sharp. So, is this where our peace ends, Renwick?
And his eyes are bugged at this point. This is the first moment, I think, Saskia, where you see his, like, he has broken that calm. His heart is pounding. You can see it, like, throbbing in his throat, his pulse pounding. And he looks to you. I don't know. I have no idea what she's talking about. He looks to all of you.
Is not doing anything. Can I try and cast a dispel magic on him?
Sure.
Let's see. Any ongoing spell of level 3 or lower on the target ends. For each ongoing spell of level 4 or higher, I have to make an ability check. At which case, on a successful check, any spell there ends.
So, this is really cool. And this whole time I felt a little bad because there's not a lot you can do with this particular stat block to really reveal something about them. But I think the spell magic is maybe the closest we're going to get, because this isn't a curse. It's technically it's an ability of doppelgangers. As you watch his face shift. His whole form shifts, his height shifts, his face seems to melt, his mouth melting away into these strings of flesh. His eyes grow pale, his body takes on this bluish greenish hue, where you can see the veins moving about. all around, and his whole form shifts to where he is just kind of this gangly creature that's looking down at you.
Oh, fine. Sorry, Saskia. Is there something that you need? Were you terribly concerned? Were you so worried the whole time? Oh, poor Renwick and his little sob story. Oh, he wanted to be a knight so terribly, didn't he? I don't even know the name of the man whose face I wore, and his end, I assure you, was terrible. Much as yours will be.
So he is going to use his unsettling visage. I will need a DC 15 wisdom saving throw from all of you. And once I get that, if you can give me initiative as well, please.
Yeah, of course.
Quick question. Would this induce a frightened condition?
Yeah, excellent question.
It is a frightened condition, absolutely.
Okay, great.
I'm immune to being frightened.
Great.
Nice.
I'm not yet, but
I have advantage on saves against being frightened, so yeah.
Fantastic. Good to know.
That's a 17 for me.
Wait,
Okay.
everybody who is within 10 feet of me is also immune to being frightened.
Oh, all of us are immune. Great.
Anybody I consider an ally? Because I have an aura of courage.
So initiative roll.
Initiative roll it is then, I guess.
All right.
Everybody who is within 10 feet of me has a +4 to their initiative.
Nice.
Nice.
Do you want to put those in the Zoom chat?
Yeah, there you are.
24 for Fiach.
I rolled so bad.
So did anybody not get a 15 for their wisdom save? Start there.
Oh.
I got a 17.
Okay.
I thought.
Yeah, everybody who's in 10 feet of me is immune.
Oh, they're immune.
They
I
cannot-
apologize. I missed that.
yeah.
I heard a bonus. I did not hear. That. So yes,
yeah.
you are all immune. So he is not successful then. So yes, go ahead and put your initiatives in the Zoom chat. It looks like I have everybody's there. I just need Renwick's, and he is going to. Let's see. I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to move y'all over to a different map here.
Okay.
As he is going to run outside. Let's see. Let's move you right here, Renwick. So he is going to run out the front door, just out of reach of all of you. And let's move you all to this map so you can see the cottage. Not that. There we go. Party ribbon. If you all want to place yourselves on the map right near the entrance to the cottage, which is where kind of the steps are right there, as that would be where you are exiting from. And as you run outside, you would see that standing in the clearing of this grove here, where the hag's lair is, looming in this reddish light as the sun is kind of cutting through the leaves and reflecting a little bit off of the blood red water, is the large silhouette of a werewolf.
This guy.
Oh, he's back. Great.
Thanks for the information, Renwick. You all made me jump out of a fucking window.
And I do it again too.
No windows around here.
All right. Let me get some initiative rolls for these two gentlemen here. So let's see.
Let's go.
Got
Let's go.
a.
I'm genuinely glad I brought Renwick everywhere, like for real.
Yeah.
This is great. This is amazing.
It's
Truly.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Renwick's got a +4. So Renwick's got a 20. So let me see if I can type everybody out here. So we've got Fia with a 24.
Yep.
Okay. We have Renwick with a 20. We have Anubia with a 17. Let's see here. Then that is that Desiree? No, Saskia with a 15.
Yep.
15 is Saskia. And then we've got between Croak and Dez, who wants to go first? It looks like both of you got an 11.
Croak, do you have a preference? I
Not
can
really.
go first if you need to position me for sneak attack, but I can go second.
Yeah, you can go first.
All right, so we got Croak then. And then we've got Dez. And then for Nico, he's got a +9 to his initiative, but he only rolled a 2, so he's got 11 as well. I'm gonna have him go last in the order then. So great, that is our initiative order. Fiach, you are up first. Renwick has run out. He has drawn a short sword from somewhere. He's not wearing clothes anymore. The clothes were part of his shape, but he seems to have been armed all the same. Madame Daciana seems to be standing back in the doorway.
Sure.
I am willing to listen to what you have next if you, well, put on a good show.
I support it.
More than happy to provide. And I will, I think once again, and as this happens, I know Desiree feels this sort of pull. And this is the first time I think this has happened where Desiree has been close by. And this red light runs from Desiree into Fiach as she once again takes on this dread form of hers. The flashes between her like larger self, the all dripping red blood, and she lands in and then I think this final form is we're gonna end with the all white, the withered, the like scraggly hair, the like sunken in cheeks and wrinkled form, and shredded white clothes, as she takes on her form of dread. And I want to say that's my bonus action, and then we're gonna just like reach out and have a couple of eldritch blasts at our friend
Go for it.
Which is, let's do this. Okay. How many of these do I have? I have 3 beams, and for now, I think they're all just going to go towards Renwick.
Okay. I will also make you all aware, we're going to go through one turn order and then probably table this for next week.
Absolutely.
Next session, I should say.
Oh, okay. Well, one of those is a nat 20.
Great. So double the dice or double the damage for that.
Yeah. One of those is an 18 on the dice plus 9 for 27 total.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then the other one is a 15 on the dice plus 9 for 24 total.
I would hope so. I'm not even going to check his AC.
Yeah.
Oh, that's insultingly low. Yeah. No, you're great.
Okay, so these are 1d10 plus 5, and I'm gonna grab my pen here. Let's do. We'll save the crit for last, just for funsies. So the first one is, because I can't math, 11 points of force damage.
He said this is all at Renwick, right?
This is all at Renwick.
Great. Okay, so starting with 11.
Yeah, 11 plus 10.
Okay.
So we're at 21 total.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to roll 2 dice for this. Maybe. Might be lying about that. No. Yeah, we'll do 2 dice for this one. Oh yeah, that's I'm happy with that. It's 18 more from the critical.
Okay. So we're going with 39 points of damage.
Yep, and
Right.
I want to just double check my form of dread to make sure it doesn't do anything in this turn as I activate it. I am now officially, I know we were all officially immune with Saskia nearby, but I am also immune just period from the frightened condition. And I hit it with an attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
I hit Renwick. He's got to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
DC 17.
Is this for
a
being charmed?
No, frightened.
Frightened. Cool. Okay. There's a 15 on the die, and then I'm guessing it's wisdom.
It is wisdom.
But that's only a +1 to his wisdom. He only got a 16, so he misses.
Then he
it.
fails, so he is now frightened of me.
Okay.
Until the end of my next turn.
Okay. So he is scared.
LD, if you'll permit me to piggyback off of you drawing energy from Desade, what you get out of that is malice. Not, I want to defend my friends, or I want to put on a good show for the hag to achieve my objective. It's, I want these people to suffer. That is my primary objective.
Mm-hmm. I think if that's the objective, I'm gonna just say that it's the bloody form then, not the old form. We'll go with the all red dripping blood form instead.
You hear a screech kind of like reverberate out of what are almost like gills on his mouth, the way that like the skin kind of like stretches down, and he kind of shrinks back a little bit, but he points this webbed hand at all of you where the fingers are misshapen, almost even seem to be shifting together. And he goes,
I heard all of your thoughts. I know what all of you are feeling. I know your fear. I know your doubt.
And he points at Desade.
And I have told my lord everything.
He is next in the order, but he is scared.
He's scared me.
He is scared. So let's see. Fear. I meant to look this up again because it is. There we go. Frightened condition. Disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of fear is within line of sight. You can't willingly move closer to the source of the fear, and a frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. Okay, so he can't move closer to you, and Fia is literally grouped with everybody. So he is going to then, let's see, what's his movement? 30. He's going to go running back here past Nico. He's going to go,
good doggy, go get them.
Nico is just kind of like shrugs this huge form. He is large in shape. He is the size of a hill giant, essentially, as a werewolf. And he is going to use one of his legendary actions to do a mauling charge. Nico is going to go charging forward towards Fia, essentially take a leap and land with a rending strike. So he is going to do a melee attack on you. This is a +12, it's 13 on the die, so that is 25, and so he is going to do 16 points of slashing damage to you. And you are prone at this point.
Great. I will say, and this is, for Eva's purpose, I had 17 temporary hit points from the Form of Dread. I just did that math, so I am now down to 1 extra temporary hit point, but we haven't gone into my regular hit points yet. Perfect. That's
good
fine.
to know. Okay. In that case, then that was legendary action. That's Renwick. He dashed. Anubia, it is your turn.
Yeah. So I think seeing that, seeing Renwick just, almost just like sort of like slightly monologue and run away a little bit. She's going to, and then seeing obviously,
so I realized I gave him a Skeletor voice as well, and I'm realizing that those two things really do mesh together. It's just like, I'll get you next time, and then...
No, but yeah, seeing Nico charging is going to really grab her attention. So I think first things first is that she's going to, I think unknown to anyone really, so I think this is really before never seen thing before for Anubia. The others are going to watch as she starts... essentially like forming like hand symbols essentially with like making different like hand signs with her hands and fingers. She's gonna call down a moonbeam. She's gonna call down a moonbeam on Nico.
Great. All right. Let's see. Do you want to? How big's the circle?
Let me pull it up. Moonbeam.
I believe it's 10 feet.
That sounds right.
5 foot radius. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 5 foot radius would be 10 feet. So yeah, you'd be able to get. It basically just spotlights Nico. Great. Is that a save on his part, or what is that for this turn?
He needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Great. He has a... Where's your con, dude? Plus 10 to his con save. That's an 18 on the dice, so it's 28.
If he counts as a shapeshifter, he would have...
He does have to revert back.
He does have disadvantage. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I always forget that. It's a 12 on the die, so it's 22.
That will still save. So
Okay.
he'll only take half damage on the 2d10 the 2d10 radiant damage that's going to come from the moonbeam.
Okay.
So let me roll that. Where are you? There you are. 19, so divided by half would be, I'm assuming, 9? I don't know if you round down or up.
We'll round up for this. We'll just say 10.
Okay.
It's easier math for me too.
Yeah. So I think with the way that he's sort of going off, Anubia is going to actually sort of move up to him, sort of look back at the hag a little bit. You want to see a beast? I'll give you a beast. And she's actually going to wild shape.
Great.
Yeah. She'll take the form of a, I like to call it a dire jackal, but essentially it's a dire wolf, but, it's a dire wolf mechanically, but, cosmetically flavoring, essentially she's going to turn into like this giant like jet black fur jackal, like large ears. Her Anubian makeup is still going to be like on there, just like the large gold eye of Horus on both eyes. But she sort of just like watches. She sort of just goes onto all fours, growls menacingly, starts polymorphing and shifting for this large jackal is now sort of next to Nico, essentially.
Okay.
And that's still under turn there.
Great. Okay. Nico is going to use his next legendary action, gets 3 per round, to do another mauling charge. Mauling charge does not provoke opportunity attacks, and he is going to essentially leap up and over to get to where Croak and Saskia are, and he is going to do a rend attack at... I guess Croak was a real pain last time to him. Croak did some decent damage, so I think Croak's getting a rend for this one. That is a 21, so 9 plus 12. Yep. And then we're going to do 15 points of slashing damage, and Croak is prone as well.
I would like to remember to use my class features. I'll use my reaction to uncanny dodge and have that damage.
There we go.
Great. All right. In that case, you can round down to 7. And we'll round down for you all. We'll round up for enemies. That is it for Anubia. That's it for the legendary action. We are now to Saskia.
Honestly, I don't care about this werewolf. I'm going to cast Expeditious Retreat on myself.
Okay.
So I can take an immediate dash action. I will have, this does provoke opportunity. So I have 35 feet, so I will move, where's 35 here. That does provoke opportunity if he wants to take it. I don't know if
he will. That's 17 plus 12. He'll do a rend attack at you. Actually, you know what? He can take any attack. I think he's going to try to take a bite at you, because that's what he was going to do with the legendary action anyway. So he will try to take a chomp out of you, as if he was McGruff in your crime. You are going to take, 16 points of piercing damage, 14 points of necrotic damage. So that is 30 in total. And I need a Constitution saving throw, DC 18.
Yikes. Do I have... I have a reroll because of Mare, I think.
Okay. Thank you, Mare.
26.
Fantastic.
Oh.
You are not... That's... Well, good for you. You are not imbued with a werewolf curse. So you move past the bite, and please continue your turn.
So I can take a dash immediately upon casting the spell, and then an additional my movement. So now I am 70 feet. Do I have any good actions? Because I actually have no idea. I am not close enough, unfortunately, to Renwick. Oh my god. And I can't cast another spell.
He holds out his arms with the sword and goes,
Saskia! Didn't we have good memories? You learned so much about me.
And his face shifts to look like yours.
And I learned so much about you.
I'm going to take... Oh, this is so annoying, because I don't have... He's too far away. He's 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I have only a 10-foot reach. And I have nothing else good. Alright, I'm just going to take another dash action.
Okay.
To just get here and then scoot around him so that I'm on the other side of him in the path.
Okay.
And that is what I can do.
Great. Next up in the order then is Croak.
Okay, I'm going to use half my movement to stand.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'll attack with my short sword. See how that works out.
Which is silvered, so we'll ignore any resistances for that.
The silver short sword. That is a... $18 total.
That will hit.
Hit or... Sorry, I cut out a little bit for me there.
Yes, you will hit. I'm sorry. Yes.
Cool. That will be... D6 plus 6. Because of my duelist feature. That will be 10 points of silvered piercing damage.
Great.
And then for my... Actually, I think... Yeah, before I take my next attack, I'd like to use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on this guy.
Okay.
And then I'll take my second attack, which is at advantage because I hit him with a Vex weapon. Okay, so that is another 18.
Great, yeah. 18 absolutely hits.
Cool.
That is his AC.
Oh. Alright, so that's going to be a lot of D6 now. So that's 1 for the short sword, 4 for my sneak attack, 1 more for Hunter's Mark. I will actually forego using the extra damage for my Swarm feature, because I have to do something else with that. So in total, that is going to be 31 points of piercing damage.
Very nice.
And as part of that attack, you're gonna see when Croak casts the Hunter's Mark, you would see the nictating membrane flip over his eye, and then when it flips back open, his eyes are like glowing that ethereal blue. And this big mark appears on Nico's chest. It kind of looks like a group of ravens that are assembled with their wings touching to look like a Triskelion.
It's really cool.
And to like represent the Hunter's Mark. And after he lands that second attack, he will suddenly burst into a cloud of feathers, and they will form into spectral ravens as I will use my Swarm Keeper feature to move half my movement speed 15 feet away from him to get out of his reach. This will not provoke, I believe, opportunity attacks. Let me just check real quick. gathered swarm. It moves me 5 feet horizontally in the direction of my choice.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything about not provoking opportunity attacks, but I believe he just used his to attack.
He did,
Saskia.
yeah. Doesn't have another one.
Cool. So I'm gonna move 5 feet here, and then I will spend the rest of my movement going here, and then I believe as another feature, I actually get half cover until the start of my next turn.
Great. All right, that'll add an AC to you. Anything else for your turn?
That was my action, movement, and bonus. I would like to use my interact with objects. I would like to use that to produce the vial of contaminated water that I procured earlier.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Next up then is Desiree. Also, real quick, Abhishek, do you need to be size category large?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make you a little bigger here. There we go. All right,
Big.
Go for it, Alex.
All right. I will pull out the hilt of the Sunblade, make direct eye contact with Nico. Well. If it isn't Master's little bitch. Bonus action, Sunblade, and then attack, action surge, 6 attacks this turn.
Okay.
All right.
His eyes widen a little bit, and he goes, "Where the fuck did you get that?"
First one 22, second one 23, third 26, fourth 28.
Yep.
Fifth 30. Sixth 17.
The 17 is the only one that misses.
All right, so we are doing 5d10 plus 35. So
yeah.
Let me grab a. Should be opening a fucking Excel.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. So. Three, 4.
That, or I also always recommend, just for anybody, Google, you can just type in roll this many of this type of dice. They roll it for you. It's pretty great.
Pretty great.
That is good to know. Doing it manually, we get 67 points of radiant damage.
67 points. All
I
right.
grab a tuft of fur, take the hilt of the blade, like blade side down, and just bam, bam, bam.
With that last hit, the only one that misses, you're slashing, beating the shit out of this guy. His big wolf paw, this claw, grabs your wrist as the last hit's gonna come down. And he goes, "Stop it! I'm not allowed to kill you." He is. Well, actually, I should say, is there anything else for your turn? You good? Okay,
Not for me,
sorry.
I'm good.
Cool. Okay. So he's going to use his last legendary action, since Anubia is big now and is already big wolf dog jackal thing anyway. You use his surprise bite legendary action, so he's going to take a bite at Anubia. So that's a 25 to hit. So Anubia, you're going to take 14 points of piercing, 12 points of necrotic, so that is 26. And I need a Constitution saving throw, please. DC 18.
Okay. So you said 26 total?
26 damage in total.
Okay. So I had 9 hit points, 10 hit points from going into wild shape, so I'm just doing the math for that.
For sure.
26, 17. Okay. 8. And then what was the con save?
Wisdom. Sorry, I'm sorry. It is con. It is con of DC 18. I misspoke.
You're good. Okay. Natural 20 for 22.
Fantastic. You do not suffer a werewolf curse. He's going to take the rest of his turn here. Well, he said he can't attack Desade, and he just bit Anubia. I think he's going to try to maneuver around to Fiach, who is prone here. So, Anubia, if you would like to take an opportunity attack, I believe you will get one for that.
Sure,
for
yeah.
that movement.
Go ahead and do an unarmed strike, so... Where's the math there? Where is it? 26.
Great. Okay. 26 hits, absolutely. What is your damage?
About to roll that right now. Yeah, I get to keep all my features, so I think unarmed strike still does a 1d8 of damage dice for my monk abilities, so thank God.
Mm-hmm.
9 points of damage.
Great. All right. So then, as he maneuvers around to Fiach, who is prone, he's going to take 2 attacks at advantage. Both of them were over 25. One was a 14 on the die. The other one was a 19 plus 12 to both. Yep. So he's going to take a bite attack, and he is going to take a claw attack. Let's start with the claw attack here. So that is going to be 20 points of slashing damage. You will remain prone. And then let's actually get these. So for the bite attack, that is going to be 11 points of piercing.
Okay.
And it will be, let's see, necrotic.
I am immune to necrotic.
Great. So it'll only be 5 points then. That's already halved. And then I need
immune?
Oh, you're immune. I heard resistant. I apologize.
No, sorry.
No necrotic damage then.
In the form of dread, I am immune to necrotic damage. Completely.
Great. No necrotic damage then. So only the 11 points of piercing.
Wonderful.
And Constitution saving throw, please. For DC 18.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, I do think I still have an advantage from a donation, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that at this moment in time. I just had all my d20s. They're right over here. Sorry. Nervous. Okay, that's better. That is an 18 on the die plus 3 for a total of 21.
Great. You do not suffer the werewolf curse.
Perfect.
Let's go ahead. Nico's looking pretty rough. Renwick's looking real rough. Let's go ahead and pause there for the night. So, thank you so much for joining us for Harbingers. Hello, dude. I've been joined as always by these very lovely individuals. I want to have them say more about themselves and where you can find more of them. Before that, I do want to say again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for donating to the Trans-Latina Coalition. Your donations go towards a great cause and help us a little bit with some incentives as well. I think you saved a couple of these characters with some advantages already this game. So we will be back in a couple of weeks as we are taking next week off. We'll talk more about that once we get to all of the end stuff. But in the meantime, like I said, I want to have these lovely people say more about themselves. Abhishek, if you don't mind starting us out, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Yeah. Hello, everyone, again. My name is Abhishek Batange. I use he, him pronouns. I've been playing our lovely Anubite werewolf. Well, now actually a werewolf, Anubia. Looks like all the werewolf jokes finally came into play, Derek.
Well,
yeah, not fully cursed yet. You're more just like you're like
the wolf jokes came into play finally. But
the wolf jokes were real. Yeah. The wolf was inside us all the whole time. There are two wolves inside of you. One of them is anthropomorphic and wears Egyptian makeup.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at neon_Raiden or neon Raiden, some variation of that usually. Mainly on Twitter and BlueSky. You can also find me on Instagram at Abhishek VO. I'm a voice actor, TTRPG AP performer, and lover of all things tokusatsu. So that means Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Project Red, whatever you want to call it, Ultraman, Garo, anything and all in between. For my other projects, I currently am working on one at the moment. Cannot quite announce it yet, but when I get the go-ahead, you guys will be the first to know on my socials, like I mentioned earlier. And obviously, you can find me here on Fridays playing Anubia for Harbingers. So yeah. You can also find me making memes in the Sword and Key Discord as well. So yeah.
That's absolutely true. Our resident meme smith. Thank you so much, Abhishek. Next up is Alex.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. This is my only online project and my only online presence at the moment. I've had a blast. Thanks, everyone, for joining to watch Harbingers.
Thank you, Alex. It is an absolute pleasure to have you. Sorry, the cat is being a menace. Have you as our president here. I swear to God. Okay. All right. There we go. Next up is LD.
It's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Lady Dame, or LD. You can find me everywhere that's important at the Lady Dame. Right now, I am mostly here on Sword and Key. I am here on, obviously, we'll start at the beginning of the week. I'm here on Tuesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Pacific. Playing Gate Night for a few more weeks, although we will be taking the next week off, as well as we finish up the run-through of Baldur's Gate 3 that I get to do with my friend Derek and Derek and Shadow. We're in the end game. We are like at the final fight, and then we just have the epilogue and the party afterwards. So we're like maybe an episode, one session or two sessions away from finishing the game, which is wild. So that's on Tuesday nights. And then I am here, obviously, on Fridays with this wonderful group of people in Harbingers, playing through Harbingers, and I'm so grateful. As your resident flirtatious harpy, I am also the co-host of the podcast Monster Crush, which I also do with Derek because he cannot get rid of me even if he wanted to, which is a podcast about monsters of creatures, cryptids, monsters of myth and legend, and how smoochable they are, and that comes out bi-weekly on Sundays. We just had an episode, our 4th of July episode, come out this last weekend, so go ahead and check that out. It's really fun. It's fearsome critters. We had a great time. And then the only other thing, next week is funny because I'm actually off most of next week, except for I will be here on Sunday the 19th, if I have that date correct. Is that right?
At 10 a.m. Pacific? That is correct.
At 10 a.m. Pacific, wherein I will be getting to play in Candlelight Inquisition, which with a bunch of rad people, getting to test out a game that's Kickstarter is about to launch, and we're gonna mess around with it. And it's the system looks really cool, and the set and the vibes are really cool. Also, kind of vaguely scary. It feels like there's a little bit of haunting situation happening. Summer Wayne, sure. That's it, I think. Also, I'm an affiliate for Friday Afternoon Tea. Use the code buy tea. It's great stuff. That's what I got.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Next up is Rack.
Ladies and gentlemen, viewers of all pronouns, I've been Rakolai or Rakolai, no real preference on how to pronounce it. I'm just glad you are here. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. When I'm not here on Sword and Key, you can find me on my own Twitch channel on most weekends. That is twitch.tv/Rakolai. I build model kits, so if you want a chill place to hang out while I build models, you can find me there. I do have an upcoming project coming up. It's not been announced yet, but once it is, you will probably hear me talking about it on my socials. And yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Next up is Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. I've been very bad babysitter. I'm going to say this every week. Well, you can currently find me here, or if you are in Edinburgh, you can find me out in town sometime until next Wednesday. If you are also here for the live show, I have bingo cards for you. So you should totally ask me for one. Yeah, that's it. It's where you can find me for the next week.
I understand you will look rather different in person at the live show.
Yes, I will.
Different hair color.
Yes. So good luck.
Okay. Okay. Good. Fair enough. Thank you again to this wonderful cast. Thank you to these wonderful players. I am both excited to see where we go next, and also saddened by how brief it will all feel. But I'm sure it will be exciting all the same. So again, I am Derek Sordes, he, him pronouns. I have been your GM and your GC for this game, your game master and your guiding compass as we navigate the treacherous seas of Damaros and beyond, both with Harbingers and Horizon's Call, as this is the world that I have built with all of my friends. I would take credit for it, but that would not be fair to all of the incredible things that they have added. The Harbingers themselves, not something I came up with, something that have been very integral to the story of this world, and something that was built in main part by LD and has been added onto with incredible significance by all of these people here as well. Again, thank you to them. Thank you to you for joining us. Thank you again for all the donations. You can donate at any time to the Trans-Latina Coalition to add incentives to our game, even if it's the middle of the week. It just gets paid forward to whatever our next game is. So, if you are looking for my stuff, you can find it. It's there. But most of what I do is repost Sword and Key stuff. So check out Sword and Key. And you can do all of that at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. Check out our socials. We have BlueSky and Instagram. There's also links to our Discord. One great place with lots of great folks where you can talk about stuff. We have movie nights. I'll talk about those when we get to our calendar. Plus, everything's just consolidated. So beacons.ai/Sword and Key in our Discord, two best places to find everything. If you are looking on beacons.ai/Sword and Key, you got to say it 3 times for people to remember it. You can also see some of our discount codes. LD mentioned one of them for Friday afternoon tea, code the Lady Dame for 10% off your purchase of any tea blend there. And there are so many to select from. There's some that are like going out and some that are coming in, and you can't go wrong. You're going to find something that you love. And also get a tumbler or a matcha dragon stuffy while you're at it. They're all great. But use that discount code, the Lady Dame, for 10% off your order. If you're getting your perfect dice set, I recommend Long Dog Dice. You really can't go wrong with them. Jen with Long Dog Dice makes beautiful, beautiful dice sets. I have the official Horizon's Call dice here. The D6 actually has the Sword and Key logo on it, and they're a beautiful, vibrant shade of blue. You can pre-order these at any time. They have little flakes of copper in them that make it look like a map, like little islands. And you can also pre-order any of the other Horizon's Call character dice or any of the other beautiful, beautiful dice sets on there. There's also clothing now, which you can customize with your D&D character and stats. Glassware, which you can do the same. D&D D20 fidgets, which roll as the dice and also have a beautiful squish, so you can also keep yourself entertained at the table. Lots of great stuff. When you purchase from Long Dog Dice, use our affiliate link, and while you're at it, use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. That code, Sword and Key, for 10% off your first purchase also works at Eldritch Foundry. No matter how weird and wild, normal, and mild your TTRPG character might be, you can make a mini of them when you do. That code, Sword and Key, gets you 10% off your first purchase there. Also use our affiliate link if you're doing 3D printing. That gets you a 3-month subscription for only $19.99. If you were shopping with Hit Point Press, we have an affiliate link with them, which we found a backdoor to years ago, and I'm not giving it up at this point. They give you discount codes anyway, but if you use our affiliate link, that helps us out a little bit and maybe can help us get you a better discount code in the future. Just saying. So check out their stuff for Humblewood, animated spell cards. The Floral Dragon series is up for an Any right now, which is gorgeous. It's gorgeous artwork. They're really cool dragon alternatives as well, because they're all dragons that are based off of like different types of flowers, and they're really pretty and also like kind of scary. So definitely check that out. As well as any of their other massive collection of TTRPG accessories and collectibles and things. If you're looking to donate towards a great cause, again, Trans-Latina Coalition is the one that we're supportive of here. However, we have a number of others that are also all the links on beacons.ai/Sword and Key. I will talk about more of those once we get to our calendar. And like LD said, she and I record the podcast Monster Crush, bi-weekly bisexual panteraphilic podcast, Monster Love and Celebration, which you can find wherever podcasts are found. We do talk about cryptids, creatures, and miscellaneous monsters from myth and how smoochable they are. We had an episode coming out just over the 4th of July weekend, where we talked about some fearsome critters, and we will have another one coming out not this weekend but next, so keep an eye out for that, and listen to our wonderful, incredible, large backlog in the meantime while you're waiting. Going over to our calendar, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time is the next episode of the Indigo Nexus. It is the Invisible Sun campaign being run by Mare. On Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time is our next Sword and Key movie night. It's free. It's on our Discord. All you gotta do is be around to be a part of it. We're watching Paddington 2 because the Paddington movies apparently are better than they have any right to be. So yeah, we're watching Paddington. They were recommended by one of our Discord members. So if you want to recommend movies for us to watch in the future, you can do that. We got a channel for it. Let's see. We're taking off next Friday from Harbingers, right? Yeah, I'm gonna remove that from the calendar. So Harbies will be back on the 24th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. In the meantime, Indigo Nexus is going to be Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Horizon's Call will be back on the 18th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And then, as LD alluded to, on the 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific time is a special game feature of Candlelight Inquisition, a game that will be going to Kickstarter here in August. So this will be a very fun feature of the game before you can even buy it. So you can see all of the strange gothic eldritch horror that kind of comes from that game. We also did a really great chat with the game creator Will Fish a while back for Sword and Tea, so you can also see that on our YouTube, also on our beacons. And also kind of a cool just through line with that is Jen from Long Dog Dice has made the dice sets for one of the Kickstarter incentives for that game, which is really cool. All the pips on the D6s look like eyes. They're really great. Also, personally, for myself, on the 19th, I think it's at 3 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be over on a friend of ours, Dax. I'm going to be on her channel for, I'm going to jump in real quick for a Star Wars game. I'm going to do a little one-off there while everybody else is running the main campaign. I'll drop in, cause a little bit of chaos, and drop right out. I told Dax that if she wants to kill my character tragically, I'm more than happy to. If she wants to kill my character comically, I'm even more into that. So 100% looking forward to that. So check that out on Dax's channel. That's for the most part going to get us through July. Like LD said, Gate Night is going to be back on the 28th, so we're taking the next 2 weeks off. It's where LD, Shadow, and I play Baldur's Gate 3 currently, doing the video game stream here on Sword and Key, and we're just stretching it out at this point because we really don't want it to end. But that's on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. But again, we're taking the next 2 weeks off. Our calendar, our Discord events, all available on our Discord. So again, check that out if you don't want to memorize everything that I say. I think that's it for us tonight. Thank you again for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you to this wonderful cast. Until we see you next time, hopefully sooner rather than later, take care of yourselves, take care of others, and fair winds, following seas, big stick. Bye, everybody.